Hey, wait a minute. This isn't Mecha May. What is this bullshit? That's right, viewers. We've interrupted our Mecha May to cover something Star Wars related, mainly because you really can't give us two Star Wars themed days of celebration on a Monday and not expect us to do that. Hey there, and welcome to Lore Ramblings. The name's Adam.
I'm Imsit, and yes, I fucking love Star Wars. I have my droid to prove it. Just like Rich Evans.
From Guy Von Dudestein on already. Woo! Dead IP time! Yeah, I love my dead IP. It's dead, lame, and gay, just the way I like it. To celebrate the hilarious release of Blandalorian and Grogu, which, from what I understand, is actually doing worse than Solo, we decided to cover Galaxy Guide 10 Bounty Hunters, which I think is actually even more fitting than I realized because, yeah, it's technically a bounty hunter movie that's eating shit. That's fantastic. So, one of the beautiful things about the Galaxy Guide books are that this actually introduced a decent amount of lore.
Well, yeah, as always, West End literally has given us, I think, more lore than the movies have. And the
Well,
movies set up the whole thing.
well, yeah.
Also, we have somebody else who joined.
Oh, last minute sneak in. Who's this?
No, 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 no.
Yeah, we're not doing Mecha May this time. You're gonna have to wait until June
I know.
1st.
Yeah, I wanted to come in and tell you how very fucking disappointed I am in you.
What, for doing
We
Star Wars
had
on A
I'm
New Hope Day?
yeah.
we had to do
It's
this.
literally the day that A New Hope came out.
You don't even like Star Wars no more. You kept saying how much you want to strangulate Dave Filoni.
Well, yeah, but that's just because Dave Filoni's a gay cowboy who writes bad fan fiction. He can't even do. He
That's,
doesn't even dress like a cowboy correctly. He just puts the cowboy hat on because I guess he thinks it makes it look cooler when he puts the stupid thing
Also,
on.
as a prerequisite, as a Star Wars fan, you have to hate everybody involved in Star Wars because they don't know how
Adam,
to do Star Wars.
Adam, as a man that belongs to a protected class, I'm very angry of your phobia against cowboys.
Well, I mean, in fairness, yeah, I do have a bit of a bias against cowboys. I think Cad Bane's also pretty fucking overrated, but that's just because of how Dave was using him.
I won't argue too much about that.
Oh, speaking of which, one of the weirdest things, since if we're going to talk about Disney shit wars, so Blandalorian, the movie, they actually do something that I kind of find, if it wasn't for the fact that Disney has already kind of destroyed the IP beyond any sense of repair, and they did this years ago.
They've done this for 10 years now, Adam.
I
Everybody's been
know.
saying this constantly.
I know, but here, in this case, they actually do something kind of potentially interesting with Jabba's son. Rada comes back because, for whatever fucking reason, they decided to redo the Clone Wars 2008 movie, but for Blando. I'm not even kidding.
You
It's
just
literally a beat for beat remake of the Clone Wars movie.
Adam, we just wanted to know what happened to, Rhoda, after
But
Jabba
the
died.
concept of him being like this glorious gladiator who I guess wants to join the New Republic, that's actually, you could do something with that if you didn't destroy the IP. You could actually do
Adam,
something kind of fascinating with that.
Imagine that
Adam,
Rhoda was on Hosnian Primes. It blew up.
Adam, we all know Star Wars has been raped ever since they let a black man be the main lead.
They've never let a black man be the main lead.
True, they
I mean,
couldn't
Finn
even
was
have the
kind of the
balls to give
lead.
it to Finn. No, they didn't even give it to
No,
Finn.
no.
They turned it.
Second billing, whose characterization is literally shouting "Ray."
Well, he's also like a minstrel show character, and in China they intentionally get rid of him on the posters. That's how much of a fucking main character he
They have
is.
never put a black. Well, no, yeah, they have never put a black man in front of Star Wars. The only thing I could see is things like Shatterpoint or other non-movie content where they have
I
made
think
black
Mace
people the main
Windu they
character.
still had to shrink. He was still on the posters, and I know Finn was too, but he's like a background character. Like they literally shrink him to the size of like one of the little Tie fighters in the background on the
I don't know.
posters.
Maybe Mace Windu will be a Force Ghost, and it'll just be the continual adventures of Mace Windu's Force Ghost.
Well, I mean, there are idiots that are trying to, I say, ground support, real grassroots support. It's not bullshit corporate agitprop. They're trying to desperately drag Samuel L. Jackson's aged carcass back for one more go.
I mean, what else do you have?
Because
What else
there
can you
is
do?
this conspiracy where Mace Windu never died. He just got thrown out of a window. He could have survived that. He could have survived getting thrown out of a window. So we might get that. We also will probably get Plo Koon, even though he fucking dies screaming in a goddamn fighter exploding.
Okay,
You
so
see
like,
him actively explode and die horribly.
Nobody's ever really gone. It's not
okay,
family.
so Mace Windu survived being thrown out of a window. What was he doing during the whole rise of the Empire? Thumb up his
The
ass?
same shit that Ahsoka was doing. Fucking nothing and being worthless. Yeah, Dave, your stupid Gandalf the White analogy for that character sucks, because Gandalf actually did shit throughout that entire time.
Okay. Enough about bemoaning Disney. There's a bunch of channels run by middle-aged men who do nothing but complain about current Star Wars.
Oh yeah,
We're
the
here to
finger puppets
celebrate.
owned by Disney, because a lot of them are also Night Media puppets too.
Isn't that
thing
just
is,
what we do?
We don't have
thing is,
we
we're
don't have a
here to
Ratco finger up our ass as a finger puppet though, so we're not quite there yet. We might get
We're
there one day.
we are here to celebrate good things about Star Wars.
Yeah, we're
In this
covering
case,
bounty hunters. This
yeah,
book's actually quite fun.
the not only for role-playing purposes of how to run as a bounty hunter, but also for the fact of the logistics and the politics of bounty hunting.
Because here's the thing, bounty hunting is a guild. It is a full-on guild because that is how it works. You have it's a bit disorganized, but essentially, due to the Empire, it got centralized quite a bit.
Yes. So, if you want to become a bounty hunter, you must have an Imperial Peacekeeping Certificate recognizing the bounty hunter's license to operate. Now, remember, that's under the Empire.
Yep.
If you're outside the Empire, you come and go, but obviously there's a reason for this. You don't want somebody shooting someone in the middle of a crowd and saying, I'm actually here for his bounty.
What was the idea of Hut Space coined by West End Games?
I would like to say yes, but
no.
I don't know.
It could be from the comics, but the basic idea is it's established that once you're out of this main center of the Empire, there's a lot of planets that basically are lawless shitholes. I mean, Tatooine's an example. Like in the first movie, they have an Imperial presence, but it's so minor.
As discussed in the amazing movie known as The Phantom Menace, where she said, "Yeah, Padme, this place kind of fucking sucks. Ain't no law here, girl.
No
Well, yeah,
Republic credits here." Hey, it actually has Jews in there too. Watto's an excellent representation of Jews, Arabs, or insert Middle Eastern category here. He's a perfect example of the Assyrian people.
The little monkey man was played by Imperial Citizen's father.
We were supposed to keep that secret.
Wait. What do you mean, Monkey Man?
You remember the little monkey guy that runs around with Jabba? That
His pet.
Knowing my
pet.
father, I can kind of see that and can't see that.
Oh God!
So you heard it here. Salacious Crumb was played by Imp's dad.
I think he could do a good Kawoki monkey lizard voice.
Also, I just want to say too, I'm surprised by the quality of. Maybe not that surprised. I mean, this is '94. I do quite like the extended universe like look that they got going on here too.
Oh yeah, because here's another fun thing. So at this point in time, Jedi were still usually depicted wearing black clothing, because here's the thing. The whole brown robes Tatooine shit, that was a prequel's invention. Until that happened, Jedi were usually depicted with darker robes because they usually used Luke from episode 6 as kind of the pattern on what they would look like. So there's a lot of weird stuff in here. Like this is before they had to retcon the Clone Masters.
I feel like the perfect like armor for a Jedi will always have to be that one armored robes that you can use in the in Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah, KOTOR usually
Do you know
does
what I'm
pretty
talking
good.
about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about,
Yeah,
yeah.
the Quell Shah or something like that. A
But
specific kind of robes that you can wear.
But yeah, there's different points of ethics for hunting. If you're a bounty hunter, so here's the thing. There's official bounty hunting for the Empire, which is why you need your peacekeeping certificate. And then you're part of the guild, but you're not officially recognized by the Empire, which usually means you're kind of fucked. So here are the basic ethics. The being or entity posting a bounty, whether the Empire, local government, corporation, or individual, reserves the right to determine suitable punishment for a bounty subject. So your goal is to try to bring them in alive, usually. If they already ask them, they don't care if they're alive or dead. You can get away with disintegrations or just blasting them until they're a
Yeah.
twitching carcass. But the entire point is that is why they froze Han in carbonite
Yeah.
in
I
episode
like
5.
this though here. So a subject must be given the opportunity to peacefully surrender, but flight, refusal to comply with directives, prior activities indicating a predisposition to resistance to capture, resistance or assault is considered refusal to surrender.
Yep.
Which means, yeah, you can kind of ignore that. But yeah, the thing is, you want to take them in alive because you want them to be jailed and arrested and prosecuted.
Also, you get more money, usually. You get a lot more credits if they're brought in alive. Actually, the best way to describe bounty hunting is if you've ever played Oddworld Stranger's Wrath, it's kind of like that. It's kind of like that, but not exactly.
And I like this here, is that who profits from this? Now, when we see the bounty hunters in Empire Strikes Back, they're working, or they look like they're working for the Empire, and that is kind of tainted them. I mean, none of the bounty hunters we saw there are very moral.
Well, yeah, you
But
got a Trandoshan, which they later on established they're an actual race of lizard people who venerate getting as many dead bodies as possible before they die.
yeah, we've got, I mean, we see here we got Vader, we've
Genocidal
got
droid. We
Boss,
have this guy.
one of them, one of the genocidal droids.
Yeah.
I think that was B. I think that's B right here. And then a Mandalorian.
Not just a normal Mandalorian, one who basically said fuck the clan system and basically neglected it until he was forced to pay attention to it again.
So I do need to bring up Guy Von Noonsign. How dare you accuse me of being a DEI hire? Don't you know that I had many powerful people inside the imperial bureaucracy who helped me out, and that is not any way being promoted because of beliefs or pre-existing. I was brought up on merit and a lot of bribes.
Man, I wish the Empire was real so we can have a pro-human agenda.
Oh wow, Primarch actually references some old lore. Mace Windu is in actually one of the West End books, but he's a kleptomaniac rabbit alien. Yeah.
What?
Idea that Lucas just had and he like tested out.
I think it's a case of they came up with the name Mace Windu and George liked it, but then because it's George, he retconned him into Samuel L. Jackson.
To get the urban market.
Or was it Mace Windy?
Could be Mace Windy.
Oh God.
But either way, that is a fun one. That is definitely a fun one.
I also like here, so with the prophets, is that you can have moral players. You could have evil players. It's all up to how you want to present your story. And in addition, the time frame. Bounty hunting dates back to even before the Old Republic.
It is one
And
of
while
the
the supplement
older professions, yeah.
focuses on A New Hope, Return of the Jedi era, you could do this in the New Republic.
Which could be quite fun. You could also do it if you wanted to. You could also do it in the prequels, because you could do some real fun shit with it.
There's a Tales of the Jedi expansion, Old Republic there.
Oh, you mean that new show on Disney Plus?
Oh no.
Moving on.
I think I've just
moving on to just the profession and the professional. So what's in a name? They're the Galaxy Stalkers, and these are the guys that go where others don't. Basically, a bounty hunter's job is to get people that official governments already tried to and they couldn't quite cut it, or
They don't
they
give a
owe a
shit.
lot of fucking money. They owe a horrible amount of money to a corporation or a mob
yeah.
boss
Or
or to
the
government.
or the official government can't get to them. This is different from real bounty hunting, which I believe is most likely just grabbing people who haven't paid their bail.
That is one aspect. It's also people who are actual fugitives from the law.
I could also. I could. Are you telling me? Because I got this problem. Can a bounty hunter help me find this man? He's a smelly, homeless, pirate-looking man that is wanted for domestic abuse, and he's currently on he's currently on run right now.
That
He's a
depends on the
fugitive from the court.
It's
It
mainly
depends on the
because New York.
jurisdiction.
New York is very lax. New York doesn't allow you to do that, unfortunately. From what I
Yay.
understand, New York does not allow you to just kind of go up and do citizens arrests. What they kind of operate on is the logic of you're already a moron that has a felony, or you're already on the run. You're gonna commit more crimes, buddy.
Yeah.
But what if he just drinks himself to death? That's more likely.
Also,
in the case
the
of this
mental
individual.
image. I have a funny mental image of a bounty hunter already. Okay, envision Kermit the Frog going, okay, you owe the government a massive amount of back taxes. You owe the Empire a horrific amount of back taxes, and I'm going to force you to pay for it.
Did the Muppets ever do like an official Star Wars crossover? I feel like there's missed opportunity there.
I think they might have done it in one of the cartoons.
That's what should have happened during the. That's what should have been the real Star Wars holiday special. It should have just
Also,
been them and the Muppets.
apparently, Primark here has informed us that Mace Windu the Squib is in Galaxy Guide 7. Mos Eisley.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's because George Lucas also, I think, took Coruscant from expanded universe lore, because originally Coruscant was just Imperial Center. That was just the
and
name
they
of
were
the
also
planet.
wanted to make that also had a Baden, a whole bunch of stuff.
So I'm not surprised. He probably liked the name, and the way it works is in this case, the earlier depiction is just retconned to be Samuel L. Jackson. So maybe he is alive.
Maybe that's what he
as a
did.
bunny.
Yeah, that's what he's doing right now.
Or maybe
He's
the
just,
rabbit's
he's
named
in deep
after
cover.
him. Actually, that's a possibility. Maybe he was named, like, maybe the rabbit people got saved by Samuel L. Jackson and one of them named their kid after him. That can happen. And there's 3 different types of bounty hunters for those curious. Imperial bounty hunters, these guys usually work for the Empire. Then there's the Guild, which these guys are the more established. This is like one of the oldest guilds that's out there. This is from like the Old Republic period. And then you got independent guys, which they're scabs.
So, Imperial bounty hunters receive their assignments through the Enforcement Division of the Imperial Security Bureau under CompNorth, the Committee on the Preservation of the New Order.
In this case, from what I understand, the Imperial bounty hunters, these guys are an attempt by the Empire to replace the Guild directly.
Well, guilds are for people who don't hold allegiance to the Empire and go through other. Because if you're getting a contract from the Empire, it's a contract that the Empire is concerned with, but local governance or corporations can't go through them.
Okay, that makes a little more sense. So yeah,
yeah.
For the Empire, it's not necessarily directly Sheev. It's like, yeah, it's your boy Sheev. This guy tried to welch out on a bet, and I need you to kill this motherfucker. It's usually not that. It's usually just this is Moff Gideon, because that's a good name, and the character's kind of interesting for a while.
Moff Gus.
Moff Gus. This is Moff Gus.
Moff Hissa.
Moff Hissa. And I need you to go after this target.
You know, that's what
they've already resisted
like
arrest. So so bringing them in dead is viable. I would prefer them alive, though. We need to make an example of them.
You know, as a thanks for helping him get executive emergency powers, Palpatine should have made Jar Jar a Moff.
Funny enough, Captain Panaka did become the Moff of the Chelman sector, Naboo.
Oh
Is that
yeah, he
the blue guy?
did.
He did.
Yeah,
Is that
Palpatine
the blue guy
actually
that?
kind of left them alone for the
No,
most
no,
part.
not the blue guy. No, that's episode 1, the security officer that was with.
Oh no!
He's the guy that
Extreme
No,
helped
order.
fly the
no,
ship.
no, that's Masamita. Different guy.
He's the guy who helped fly the ship. You know how they got off the planet and he's like, "There's the blockade."
The black guy.
Okay.
He's the black guy.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking of the guy that screams order during episode 1.
Yeah, no, I don't know what happened with Masamita.
He just ate himself to death. Don't worry.
Yeah.
He died
Also,
as he
from
lived, filled with
yeah,
food and drugs.
also from Primark, ran a one-shot of Star Wars West End that was a bounty hunter team of an Ewok, a Jawa, a Gungan, and a Toydarian.
Oh god.
You know, the
Oh,
saddest thing is
so-
that is actually genuinely. I suggested the idea of an Indiana Jones themed. You're hired. Basically, it's Afra, but not shit. One of the first suggestions I got was legitimately a Gungan.
Well, Primark, I gotta ask, who died first? All right.
But
The concept
as
of
we
an
go,
Ewok being hired out as a bounty hunter is very amusing. So you
Those
just
are
have like
some
this Stone Age caveman.
some ferocious motherfuckers.
Jawas though
Um,
are very fascinating because you could actually no. This sounds dumb, but then you think about it. You got the savage brute. You have the intelligent tech wizard. You have the possibly guerrilla warfare specialist because the Gungans also mastered force field technology. The Toydarian, and you have someone
face.
who's immune. The Toydarian, they're also immune to force powers.
Keep in mind, Gungans are considered some of the most ferocious fucking hunters this side of the galaxy. Their current reputation is not helped because of individual.
And if we go
If-
by supernatural encounters related to the Rakatans.
Oh yeah, they are technically they're not part of the same species, but they're part of the same genus as the Rakan Infinite Empire.
I mean, it kind of makes a little sense. Now that you think about it, kind of makes a little sense.
But straight up, I do think that team could work. It's very much designed to be clown shoes, but you got something going. You got like a full heist team going for that, which works.
Also, it looks like from Primark that they all succeeded. A team of Mr. Beans.
Well,
Wow, that
lucky
sounds like a
idiots are one of the most common forms of writing.
But back to what a guild does. They act sort of as a clearinghouse. They act as brokers, try to find the most lucrative contracts, can provide resources, all in exchange for a fee. You know.
Yep. Also, here's
Management.
one of the coolest things in the book, and this is something that they actually they don't demand, but what you can do if you really want to be fun is you get this page scanned so that you can make your own peacekeeping certificate for your character.
Oh yeah, I love this. Name,
I-
homeworld, your signature. I don't know what it says in Arabesh there. But I guess it's something. And then the back, the being or entity posting a bounty reserves the right to determine suitable punishment for bounty subject. Injury, incapacitation, death of the subject of a given bounty may occur if under circumstances in which the individual has first refused to peacefully surrender.
I think you're doing a disservice by not showing page 8, Adam. Just how sets the tone of what a bounty hunter is there.
Well, I mean,
It's the tone of
yeah.
what Star Wars is.
I mean, this is basically Han shooting Greedo first, right here.
Yeah.
I've shown it. I just kind of skimmed past it. But yeah, it's an excellent example. You also see other bounty hunters in the area. Oh, we're getting a question from Private Penguin. So, can anyone tell me how the Mando plus Baby Yoda movie was?
It was fun.
It
was
exists.
fun. Fun for the whole family.
And then the moment
Light
it
on
came out,
story, light on story, but action packed.
It was so fun for the family, especially the part where in the first minute of the film, Mando just burned people alive and you hear their screams of fear. That was nice.
A family picture.
it's the most gentle prolapse you can possibly have. It
What
exists.
What I'm being told is like people just keep saying, why the hell was this not just Mando season 4? What people keep repeatedly saying.
It's just what they had available, I think. They were gonna do Mando 4, but then season 3 was a shit show and they couldn't get Pedro, so my guess is they kind of lumped it. The best way to describe it is, Hey, remember the 2008 Clone Wars movie? It's like that, but less good.
Private Penguin, if you're wanting to spend $30 next week, Backrooms.
Honestly, for
Watch the Backrooms movie.
$30, you can either do the back rooms or you could just smoke a bowl of crack, honestly.
Literally support a guy who started making videos as a kid and is now making a feature-length picture.
Back rooms, smoking a bowl of crack, blowing it on scratch tickets. There's a lot of other things you can do, honestly.
But then our third subject, as Governor Sertif Tout says, independent? Half those bloody headhunters aren't even housebroken.
Yeah, these guys are basically the Paul Blarts of the bounty hunter world.
They're bloodsuckers, as they're called. These are people that if you are desperate, you bring in, and hopefully you're not liable for the damages that they will do.
Because they're going to do a lot of damage. The reason that they're not part of the guild directly is because these are the people. These are basically, you ever run into the people that failed police academy, but they really wanted to pretend to be a police officer, so they play as mall guards.
Yeah. Well,
that's what these
also,
guys are.
yeah.
Just they're even more trigger happy.
Well, there's also the fact that if you want to do bounties for the rebels, you can't do it through a guild or the Empire. There's also the fact that you might also be running less than legal operations on the side.
Yeah. So you can run into some genuinely high-performing operators, but you're also just as likely to run into the person who's just in it for the war crimes.
And I do like here, you have Bosk's card.
Here's
which
Bosk's
means
card.
He renewed his license on the executor. On the start, he's like, just take my picture.
I love the idea that there's like an actual photographer that was just there, that you just kind of gently ignoring Darth Vader, just standing there annoyed because he is wasting his time renewing his license. And at any point, this photographer can get killed because Vader is irked.
And I mean, he did say you have Bosk's little mark. You know, he can write.
He is literate.
Hey, to be fair, Darth Vader only said no disintegrations, no renewing your 900 license on board the starship. That was the only stipulation.
And in fact, I have in my hands the Tales of the Bounty Hunter book, and most of it ends up referring to all the bounty hunters you saw in the movie and them hunting for Han Solo. It does not, I think, say anything about Bosk renewing his license, though.
No, IG-88 wouldn't take the picture. IG-88 would be too busy trying to hack the Executor so that it could kill all the humans by venting the atmosphere in it.
Yeah.
He was too busy trying and failing to hack the Executor.
Then we have, though, the Bounty Hunter Creed, which is 1. People don't have bounties. Only acquisitions have bounties.
So I like that they open up and basically go, yeah, you don't try to envision your target as a person because it makes things more complicated. It's best to dehumanize them or desentientize them.
Capture by design, kill by necessity, obviously. And no hunter shall slay another hunter.
For those who are curious, this is very similar to the whole you don't do a wizarding duel if you're familiar with the Order of Hermes. Basically, it's a way to prevent them from trying to kill each other to get the bounty.
Yeah, most of the I mean, well, technically, most of the bounty hunters have on the hunt for Han Solo violated that fucking rule. They shot at IG-88.
Well, yeah.
And Boba Fett as well, but yeah, you generally don't want to on a hunt just immediately start murdering each other because then the hunt gets away.
It also usually just results in it also destroys your reputation if you're known.
Which
for
also
doing
brings
this.
Yep, no hunter shall interfere with another's hunt, and in the hunt, one captures or kills, never both.
Basically saying like, hey, if you got him tied up in your ship, don't blow his fucking brains out.
Also actually gives a great example. Ape must not kill ape. That's essentially how it works. Yeah.
And I also really like. I like how it makes the exception too. Like, hey, if that fucker tries to like escape, and if he just dies during the process, well, shit, man.
It happens sometimes.
No hunter shall refuse aid to another hunter. You know, might come with a price tag, but you'll help each other out. because there's not a lot of you in this galaxy.
Well, there is, but the problem is getting good paychecks is kind of a pain in the ass.
They also have enforcement mechanisms. If an offense is made against the Creed, the charge is made by a hunter that will convene a hunter's lodge, in which they will then hear, must be convened within 30 days of the offense. Any number of hunters can attend, although only 6 hunters are required to enact summary judgment. The accused may attend the lodgment session, though no special guarantees of safety are implied should the decision go against the accused. They hear the evidence, cast a vote. In a tie vote, the sponsoring hunter may demand another vote to break the deadlock. Majority decide the result is an immediate ban.
It's informal, but essentially it means that you're not going to get any resources from that lodge. And possibly the entire guild if you've pissed off enough of them.
Yes. And this is mostly against, it seems to be, you're independent.
Well,
Guilds have their own
because
mechanisms.
the Empire can try to liquidate you if you don't try to get rid of them. And they even have slang. Here's their little terms for this. Acquisition is any person who's the target of a bounty. Blood money is the form of fee. I am slurring today. Shit. Fee. They don't get paid in P. They're not working for Diddy. They don't need the baby oil for this one. They're not working for R. Kelly. It's a fee.
Like bloodsuckers are not the independents, but more so the bureaucrats.
Yeah. You got your
Hunters,
enforcers, which is your expediter. Gotcha, which is any deterrent placed on a bounty that could limit the revenue.
I like this one here. Two-timer. An acquisition with 2 separate bounties presently posted against him or her. Pull leather to support a fellow hunter.
Hey, Angel Arroyo, you're doing the 6 angry old bounty hunters. That's also a really fun idea for a short campaign. Well, not a short campaign, but it could be an interesting one to open up with.
And it turns out while you've been doing that, the bounty hunter being challenged has put out a hit on all of you.
Also, if you're curious, they do have the title Master Hunter. This is any bounty hunter that's actually somehow survived collecting a minimum of 100 trophies. Well, technically, you have to complete 100 hunts, and then you're considered a master.
Yep. Then obviously we talked about the etiquette, imperial perspectives, where they see them as more than a necessary evil at best. As again, we don't like their scum.
I mean, they are basically scum.
Actually, wait. It makes sense. Traditionally, Imperial naval officers who pride themselves and their subordinates on their discipline and dedication to duty see undisciplined hunters as an inherent threat to the Empire. Literally, an entire sentence to just justify why Piet doesn't like bounty hunters.
I mean, it also makes sense. The Empire's for order, and these guys don't really operate in that structure cleanly.
I think it always was implied they were scum and villainy.
A lot of them are scum, yes.
Also,
I don't want next to a Trandoshan. They don't in my neighborhood. Gone near the top, damn it! I don't want that near where I live.
Sorry, Private Penguin was asking any social reward for Jedi hunting.
Wouldn't
be probably, but not in this book, because this is before Jedi.
Well, no, there were survivors of Order 66. Yeah. Order 66 wasn't a thing yet, but Jedi survivors.
We didn't establish. Yes. Yeah, we didn't establish a timeline of when the Empire took over and when they were all destroyed.
But I would definitely envision that a bounty hunter would be able to get a good paycheck for collecting a Jedi. It is also known that Vader did on occasion go out to try to get rid of remnants of the Jedi. And not just him, but there was also other Inquisitors. And I don't mean the fucking Inquisitors Filoni did. They were a thing in the Empire before then.
We're talking Tremaine, Halmir, Jarek.
Jarek especially.
I know. Yeah, and I was about to bring up Dark Forces. Fucking game, by the way, can I just say?
This was in the early 90s, so this is before the prequels, Private Penguin.
Oh god, yeah, 94 is when that came out. Dude, can I just say that was the best fucking game ever to play as like a small kid.
Oh, it is
Blew my mind.
Game.
Yes. They also add here, though, how would you hunt in the New Republic? New Republic, it's strictly controlled, and it's illegal to willfully slaughter a being for profit. But there is bounties that do occur. They want them in alive. Um, the Empire, willing to pay to hunt down the New Republic. And of course, there's corporations. There's always corporations.
One of the easiest gigs you can get is if you actually work with a corporation, because there's always someone that you need to play troubleshooter for.
Now, in the next section, they actually give us the creation rules for how to make Bounty Hunter. And they do bring up as an important thing is, why are you doing this?
Yeah, because bounty
Because
hunting is not exactly an easy life.
it's not an easy life, and you are literally, instead of doing anything else, going to go around the galaxy and essentially kidnap people for money.
I mean, what else am I going to do in
Yeah.
my free time? The only thing in the Star Wars world that there is for entertainment, besides being a violent murderer, is listening to jizz or drinking blue milk. Your options,
Pazak,
unfortunately.
Pazak, Sabak, speeder racing.
Yeah, because they banned pod
Hmm.
racing.
They banned pod racing?
From what I understand, yes. I don't know if it was Vader directly, but basically when the Empire became a thing, she fucking banned it. With the express belief that it was too dangerous. In reality, it was a big fuck you to the aliens because pod racing was more popular in the Outer Rim, and he got rid of it specifically because most of the racers were aliens. At least most of the well-known pod racers were aliens.
And Primark does bring up that there is a huge loyal fan base for the West End games. And I have looked, I believe, and it is somewhat of a still active forum, Ranker Pit.
I mean, there was when West End Games went under. What happened was fans tried to modernize a little bit by incorporating, I think, some of the D20 stuff, and they formed what was called Womp Rat Press, which was an attempt to modernize and kind of fix up the mechanics, at least some of the rougher elements of it.
Yeah.
So where are we? Because I know
I think it was
Fantasy
also their
Flight
attempt
Games
to
and
add the
Star.
prequels.
Fantasy Flight still has it under I think, I don't know if they still have it or if it's now under Asmodeus. But Asmodeus kind of, unlike like Games Workshop, they have a 3-year cycle. Unlike Games Workshop, they end the product every 3 years.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
What are you gonna say, Biggs?
How lame. I was about to say, because like fuck, I mean, I don't think there's been any new Star Wars roleplay thing. I think it's just been because I was about to bring up X-wing with a thing, but like, didn't they like shit can
X-Wing,
one of their?
X-Wing Armada's dead.
Yeah, they killed it.
Shatterpoint, I think,
Oof.
is on the way out.
They're dying.
Legion is still there. But what I have is a bag full of the miniatures that Wizards of the Coast made in the early 2000s. And there are people still playing that game and have rules for it.
I genuinely think it's because Disney doesn't understand any form of media whatsoever with this. Because here's the thing, right? They also fucked up the video games. Originally, Star Wars under Lucasfilm's, under the Lucasfilm's game logo, they'd at least make a game every now and again. Disney just kind of foisted it off onto EA like morons, and then just like did fucking nothing with it afterwards.
And they're starting to go back. We're getting an XCOM game and a I don't even just a racing game.
Another racing
They
game.
belatedly and finally realized they don't need to spam nothing but AAA garbage. I think it's just that they have this, it's too small scale to be worth it. Meanwhile, they'll release key plot elements in fucking Fortnite.
Or do a
Well, that's because that's
crossover
what all
with,
the kids are playing.
or
They
do a
aren't.
Fortunately,
crossover with Destiny.
I'm not even kidding. Like the big reveal about Palpatine and the
Hey.
radio transmission, that was on Fortnite.
And do you mind telling us how that's worked out for Destiny right now?
It's Destiny 2's ending. Admittedly, it's been after, 12 years? But it's ending. But if you want to instead do anything else, literally just play Star Wars Galaxies. There are servers that they have made, and if you want to have your own little adventure in Star Wars doing whatever you want, go ahead. But back to finishing a hunter.
Oh, I
So,
mean, they give examples of motivations too.
yeah, you're going to have an extra 7 dice to add to your skills.
Because you have to be kind of hard-boiled to be a bounty hunter.
And they give you templates for your independence, guild, and interesting enough, an alien for the Imperial bounty hunter.
Which, yeah, because the Empire tended to be, they tend to be humanocentric, but they will take aliens. I mean, this is actually what bounty hunting for aliens is one of the ways they can actually get pretty highly ranked. It's actually how Bosk was able to get away with doing half the shit he did. Because he
Uh,
took in so many bounties, basically the Empire gave him the honorary, like an actual honorary human pass.
Honorary human.
and they do actually have here
He had his own
they
version of the N-word
yeah,
pass, but for being a human.
they have the bounty hunter template from second edition, which is its own thing, and then obviously
Hey,
and literally
this
saying
whole race is. Go on.
literally saying what you should have. Like, should you have high dex strength? Maybe put stuff in mechanical. They're giving you abilities to optimize your play.
This whole racist empire thing, they seem to be pretty tolerant. I mean, you got Thrawn, you got the Trandoshan, you got Twilight sex slaves.
Yeah, tell that to the Wookiees. I mean, later when they become the Fel Empire, they start having aliens, which I have dubbed the equivalent of the SS getting an all-Jewish regiment 40 years after World War II.
In fairness, that could have happened. That could eventually have happened.
I would describe it more like the Roman Empire just recruiting from the locals, saying like, "Okay, man, we got nothing else left."
Yeah, pretty much. But they even have the ability to determine your own template, background, attributes based on also any abilities that an alien would have. So they give an example. You get a plus Wookiees would get a +2 because they have climbing claws. They have +2 dice to climbing.
Well, yeah, they have that, and it just gives you extra details.
Yeah, and equipment, game master approval, and your modus operandi, and you're done. You've got your fully fledged bounty hunter.
And here are some who am I examples: capture delayed, connoisseurs. These are just the sort of personal touches you add to your bounty hunter.
Droid hunter.
The Gentleman Hunter is one of those ones that it actually just kind of gave me a fun idea where you give them. I think I said the idea of a Cortosis blade, and then also a couple of like actual revolver slug throwers, and you kind of play them like a musketeer. Or you just kind of play them as a dashing, swashbuckling idiot, like this, like the fourth son wastrel of an imperial planetary governor playing bounty hunter, like that sort of doofus.
Oh, absolutely.
That'd be fantastic.
You could also just literally be a terrorist.
Oh yeah,
Well, no, in this case, you literally stalk them for months or years, repeatedly at anything the victim cherishes, isolating the opponent from friends and assistants, and then have them finally close in on the hunt.
When you mean terrorist, do you mean a rebel?
No, as in like
actual stalker
you
and serial killer. A Gungan gentleman hunger. A Gungan gentleman hunter. Man, I'm slurring tonight.
Then we have the actual process of how, now that we have our hunter, how do you actually go about collecting? So,
before then, I have to do the line since we mentioned the.
Yeah.
Umbubu, give me the plasma rifle so that I may shoot at the person and make them go bombaclat. There we go.
So, the first thing is bounty is a legal document issued by the Imperial Office of Criminal Investigations or many of the other agencies.
No, I'm just having a bad case of malapropisms tonight, Primarch. I'm not that drunk.
To have a bounty placed on their head, they're effectively marked and has an outcast with no rights. You could also have bounty prices vary. You could have somebody who wants someone so bad that they post an excessive bounty. You also then have a permit system. You require you are required to get that IPKC, the certificate.
I mean, you kind
Which
of have
costs-
to if you want to be an Imperial hunt. If you want to work in the Empire at all, which is the majority of the galaxy.
And not work for the Empire, work in the Empire.
Yeah, you kind of need it just in general. Like, even if you're
Now-
not working directly for them.
It is prohibitive a bit. It costs 500 credits, and it must be renewed each year. The practice of renewing a license at yearly intervals allows them to review their performance record. And it's valid in most regions of the galaxy.
But
However,
much like
interesting enough-
Republic credits, it is not valid in the Outer Rim.
Well, no, the core worlds prohibit hunting of any kind. Interesting.
Republic credits will do.
Well, no, Imperial credits.
I was making a
Once
joke
do-
from the Phantom Menace.
Yes, but properly would be the Imperial credits are not accepted in the Outer Rim. I'm a lore stickler.
As for how this works, you got the license to hunt. Once you have this, you basically go on the murder board, essentially the bounty hunter board, and you select your targets. And you can do this in a few ways. The easiest way, and this is why a lot of people will get the Imperial license, is because you can just go to the Imperial Office of Criminal Investigations and they just have a bounty board. It's one of the quickest ways to just get a target.
But then you also need permission. You have to basically get the ability to hunt within the sector. And there's a lot of sectors in the Empire, which also then have restrictions, time limited, valid for a specific season, the different cost.
I actually like that
Averages-
you have to get a permit to go to the sector to actually target the guy, because that is such an authoritarian nightmare state element right there. It actually reminds me of the Soviet Union. Did you know that they actually had an internal passport system where if you didn't have your passport, you couldn't legally leave your area? Like, if you're in an oblast, like let's say you were in Tyumen, you could not go to Novosibirsk without your internal migration passport signed.
So I was gonna say, you not only need your 500 credit license, your 100 credit target permit, but now also your sector permit.
But what if I'm a renegade?
Well,
if I say fuck
I
that?
don't care.
I mean, the good news is you save a few hundred credits. The bad news is that you have the entire Empire out for, not necessarily out for your ass, but if you get caught, you're fucked.
Hey, what the Empire don't know, don't hurt them. I can just forge that shit.
Some sectors might just allow you the sector permit, don't need the target permit.
Also, the target permits cost anywhere between 10 to 1,000 credits per month, which that is suffering.
Sector credits might be 1,000 to 10,000 credits per month.
Yeah.
Then you have system permits.
Yeah, because, hey, if you're really unlucky, the guy running the system, the governor running the system, might force you to have this.
And it's not unusual to find additional district, city, or municipal.
Ah, Lord. And then
As
there's
well as capture permit.
The capture permit.
Now, this is why you bribe everybody.
Ah, God. So let's go through. How many fucking permits and how much does this cost? Okay, so first off, you need the $500 license, the 500 credit license. Then you got let me be kind and go with the permission only costs 100. Then let's be average for the target permit, so that's another 500. Let's go with 400 just because. So you're already at about 1,000 per month. Per month, except for the other one, that's per year. So still. Then you have the sector permit, which, hey, that's probably a shortcut, but who knows? Maybe you have to also get this. So eat shit. That's another 10,000 credits per month. And then you have the system permit, which let's just say you're lucky and you only have to pay 200. So that is like 10,000. That's 11,000 credits a month. Oh, and then the capture permit, which is up to 25% of the bounty, or 500 credits, whatever is higher. So you could be really fucking unlucky. You could be extremely unlucky and get a dude that's only worth like 5,000 credits, and you just have to suck it up and pay 500 on top of that. So you actually lose money doing bounty.
Primarch here is bringing up that you've also got to think expenses, permit costs, travel expenses, ammo, material consumed, bribes, medical bills. Now, as a good Imperial citizen, I do have to remind people that this is beneficial. It's a recognized means of raising Imperial revenues, and the Empire has the right to make credits any way it can for the good of the Empire and the greater good of its many citizens. And any planetary government within the Empire, so long as Imperial law is maintained and upheld, has the right to govern itself any way it wishes.
Wow, I'm happy to know Palpatine cares about me. I love you,
He
Palpy.
certainly does.
That's the cost of doing
Vote for
business in the Empire, and you do want to run this, at least if you want
Yeah.
to get a lot. Because again, you
However,
get a lot
they
of
do.
resources. You get the bounty board. You can actually directly talk to the guild. You have a lot of assets that you wouldn't have otherwise if you did independent.
Yeah. Now,
I don't know if
there's ways to get around this. Hire an expediter. These are people who go through the administrative process and get all of the permits that you need. Another
that way you
option
need
is
to join a guild. I feel like the
as well.
guild would probably be.
Another option is running sectors, involving pursuing a targeted individual without obtaining the permits, draw them back into the sector you have a permit in, and get them.
It's literally saying, "Hey, Kaiden's a strategy."
Yeah, it's a common method, because why pay for another sector if you can goad or honeypot? This is actually one of the things you can do. Honeypot someone into going to the sector that you have the permits to, so that you don't have to spend more money on other permits.
Now I know this is basically saying, "Hey, you need to be creative to lure your targets out." Me personally, I like to imagine this is an excuse for why your players become murder hobos. It's like, well, shit, man, we're not making enough money, so we'll do some other shit on the side.
So what you're saying is this is the traveler experience, but for bounty hunting.
Yes.
Now, the Empire also can basically annul this whenever you're targeting most wanted, or on a locate and detain list.
Yeah, they have a notice of imperial remandation. Effective
Mandation.
this date, the subject identified native of having willfully enacted crimes of sufficient magnitude and or multitude against the empire, as to acknowledge and proclaim said person as an enemy of the imperial state, and having by his or her actions against the empire having knowingly sought to undermine legal imperial authority, and having further failed to yield to lawful authority in matters of detainment and apprehension, the empire has no alternative but to place a notice of civil remandation against the accused. Effective immediately, this being is in the best interest of maintaining security of imperial peace.
I love the bureaucracy in this.
Essentially, if
It's a
you get
nightmare.
this, it's open
License to
season on your ass.
Yeah, this is actually an open season. License to kill.
So basically, if I just take a piss on an Imperial outpost, they're like, okay, that's it.
It
Fire up the
depends.
bounty board.
Like, we've got here examples of bounties.
Maxig Crest.
Wanted alive, bounty 25,000. Within the inner rim, this is a corporate bounty.
Yep, and you get a bonus for the safe return of crystalline compounds believed to be in the acquisition's possession.
Then you have Ulix Vinak, a Deveronian. This is a 2,000 credit bounty, as well as salvage rights.
Yeah,
Dead or
this is
alive.
not really worth it unless you're desperate or you're playing
This
independent.
is the crime unlawful possession of an illegal weapon, primarily for Governor Desh of Gyaradosi 4, or Gyaradosi 6. Then you have Maladin Garavac, a 15-year-old from Ord Mantell, 10,000 credits, offered by Moff Adrel of the Kilbanis sector, flight to avoid Imperial prosecution, falsification of Imperial documents.
Now I know it's a bit of a
Shirior,
nitpick.
a Wookiee.
Now I know.
Yep, sorry.
I was just wanted to say. I know it's a bit of a nitpick, but fuck it. It's not like they knew what KOTOR was going to do with Ord Mantell. I'm going to shut up.
Well, Ord Mantell, it had different.
Blew up.
No, they didn't blow up Ord Mantell.
You're thinking of a different planet.
What was the planet Malik blew up?
Terrace, and it didn't blow it up. He didn't. He just destroyed the city.
He just fucked the shit out of it with dark side powers. Yeah.
I'll shut up.
No, with an
now.
orbital bombardment. But
Oh, it can
like-
recover. That can recover.
Then we do have a Wookiee, bounty
Which is his buddy.
25,000 credits. This is another moth, and this is multiple crimes.
Oh yeah, the flight to avoid imperial prosecution, aggression against members of the imperial armed forces, conspiracy, possession of illegal weapons, use of illegal weapons, obstruction of imperial. Basically, this dude has the only difference is he's not dead or alive yet.
And I love the next page. You can make your own wanted poster.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh, that is great.
Oh,
I love
too.
little things like this.
You know, you know what you can do, because this is actually something you can do. Remember, E.T.'s species is canon to Star Wars, so you could just put a picture of E.T.
He's wanted for numerous narcotics crimes, selling death sticks in the school zone.
Wanted, interfering with primitive species, selling illegal technology to primitive humans.
Unsolicited contact with a minor.
Well, I was about to say, because like Jackson involved in the production of E.T. I was about to say, like, known associates Michael Jackson.
You ignorant. You could put Michael Jackson as an alien just because. Fuck it, why not?
Well, I mean, that's what they did in Men in Black 2.
I mean, he was an alien in Men in Black.
He was also Captain EO.
Men in Black 2.
Just have him in his Captain EO uniform as a wanted poster. Why not?
So, something else that they bring up here is like the level of crimes. They say level 1, level 2, 3, 5. This is referenced in Andor, where they upgrade the PORD to level 1 infractions, and those are the highest of a serious nature. So
I'm actually impressed. I mean, here's the thing. That's actually impressive, because the guy who made Andor, here's the thing. He's not really a fan of Star Wars in the sense that he doesn't really care for it. He didn't really fuck with it. He wanted to do a police procedural. And because it was Star Wars related, guess what he decided to do? He decided to do a thing that you're kind of supposed to do if you're working on an IP. He did like a fucking 3-week deep dive before going into it.
And it makes significant. In Andor, if they're upgrading prosecutions to level 1, which is the highest level, they are going overboard.
I will say, however, that one of the problems with Andor is just the main character isn't really the draw of it.
Oh, Adam, you and your cynicism.
No, it's just genuinely, every time I've heard people talk about it in the sense of it being positive, it's always the side characters they mention. Yeah. Which to me is kind of a damning indication of just Andor is not an interesting character. Because people talk about Mon Mothma's portrayal. People talk about the guy running the Imperial Bureau, the Imperial officers. They talk about Mr. Terrorist Man.
I thought Mon Mothma was in fucking Solo, a Star Wars story.
I think, no, she's not. I thought she might have had a cameo, but no.
Yeah. But
you know, it does have a cameo in it. Darth Maul, who somehow survived screaming in agony without his intestines or penis on a trash planet for a decade.
He's just that angry at Obi-Wan. He wants to kill his girlfriend again.
Hey, listen, Scion survived. But I like here that they give us what would get a most wanted or a low-key detained bounties, which often are 200,000 credits or more. Aggression against a member of the Imperial Armed Forces. Conspiracy. Destruction of Imperial property. Obstruction of Imperial authority. Sedition. Treason. High treason.
Impersonating Imperial officials, which means that, yeah, Han and Luke are fucked. Han and Luke are fucked.
Oh, you're right.
4.
Oh, you're right.
How are you?
Oh, he just got a 200,000 credit bounty on him.
I mean, to be fair, they did something else afterwards. Probably.
I mean, they killed quite a few stormtroopers. Yes.
Yeah, that'd be aggression, conspiracy, obstruction.
What do you think? What do you think the bounty for blowing up the Death Star and killing like 1 million fucking people?
That would be high treason. All members of the Rebel Alliance have committed high treason.
How How much do you think?
Actually, no. I
this
realize
bounty
this.
would have
I
been?
realize this. All of this is actually what happened in episode 4. They hit Imperial stormtroopers. They conspired to escape from the Death Star and blow it up. They blew up the Death Star. They fled from Imperial persecution. They impersonated stormtroopers. They blocked them from getting to Princess Leia. They stole those Imperial uniforms.
Well, also
Uh,
remember bounties, which include the princess. She's counted as an item because she was in their fucking custody.
Sedition, treason, and high treason.
I just want to say I'm very glad that the Empire will let me be a rapist. They don't care that much. I don't see rape
No,
on
no,
here.
that's just a most wanted. Now you go to your galactic bounties, and that includes all the other things as well as piracy, sedition, that from Imperial property, because this is the only thing they're worried about is Imperial
Possessing
property.
a cloaking device.
Yep. Then you go regional, forgery, sedition, theft, treason,
Transportation of illegal
and
aliens.
illegal
Oh god, the
aliens.
coyotes are fucked.
Oh no.
Violations of
The
customs, unauthorized review of Imperial data files, unauthorized review of Starship. Then you go down to your sector level, all the way down to local.
for transportation of illegal aliens, Adam, do you think we can conclude a picture of that stupid fucking rock?
Oh yeah, the rock character from the High Republic.
Because they're
His name
transporting
is Geo.
refugees.
They spent $1 billion on the High Republic. The last book before they canned it only sold 1,000 copies.
I might look at. I've seen some stuff that might be interesting, but
Of the
I
game,
didn't
you
read
mean?
it.
There's not enough material. Just the way they sold it, there's nothing really. It's the
Yeah,
it's the
I think
Republic
it's
at its peak, but like they also
I-
tried to have a weird dark side anarchist coalition of weird rape pirates or whatever.
so it's apparent it's a group that believes that using the Force at all actually harms life.
Which is wrong, but okay.
Apathy is death.
That's just
And
I just realized that because they're probably listening to that idiot Dave, it's probably just ripping off Legend of Korra, like anti-Bender bullshit.
well, I mean, I don't know. I
Eh.
might have to take a look and read it, but
I wouldn't
they bring
recommend
up
it.
other bounties as well as LAC docs. Legal authorization for advanced confinement document. These are documents issued for the detention and confinement of individuals wanted by the Empire.
This is where you build your Joseph Fritzl dungeon. Essentially, this is the right to build a prison to lock people into
Yeah,
your ship.
this allows you to confine them indefinitely.
I absolutely love how just from this lore alone, all the stuff you can do in the game. Just like here's your dungeons ideas, here's story hook ideas, here's things you can do for your players to get them to interact with the world. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I can't wait for someone to brag about the campaign where they just began waterboarding random Ewoks after fucking landing on the planet to find out where C-3PO is. Tell me
Where's
where
your
the golden god is.
We're here to kill a god.
Start putting weird alien fruits into a bag to begin beating them, like they're in the basement of Lubyanka. If you're curious, the KGB would actually put soft fruits in a bag to beat you relentlessly with because it didn't leave bruises. They also
Are you
did
telling me
this
the
with
poop
Bibles.
sock is? Are you telling me the poop sock is real, Adam?
Unironically, that is an actual torture method that was used by the KGB.
So hold on, you've got then private postings, posting agencies, corporate postings, all of the crimes that you can commit, illegal bounties that are not registered through the IOCI.
This is mostly the ones that you would get through the Rebel Alliance.
I like here. They
or
even
just
have
criminals, like straight up criminals too.
If you want to look up the enforcement database, 10 to 15 credits per hour to access the Imperial Data Enforcement Data Core.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That's
you literally have a paywall. They literally paywall the service that you already pay money for, by the way. Because remember, you pay money as a member of both the guild and straight up to get the permit. And then you have the other permit, and then you have to pay money to actually use the website.
No, that's to use it. If you want to the prime menu lists only the name of the acquisition, the amount, and the bounty. They can retrieve the entire bounty posting for 5 credits per retrieval. So each bounty you want is an additional 5 credits. They are nickel and diming you.
You can
Maybe that's one
understand
of the
why
things
a lot
too.
of them are independent.
Oh,
Maybe that's
and
one of the
then
things too.
hunters can get an encrypted data card for 10 credits.
Ugh.
Another fee to specify to search through the local office for 50 credits.
And they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming, and it don't stop coming. And it don't stop coming, and it don't stop coming.
Really, all this is doing, this imperial bureaucracy, all this is making me want to do is, it's like when I find my bounty, I just want to sweep the surrounding area of anything valuable, everybody's ships, and then sell it for profit. That's how I found out how I'm going to make my fucking money.
This is literally why you get the expediters.
I'm just envisioning Emperor Palpatine just one day working at the
Because
Empire version of the DMV just because bureaucracy is one of my favorite things, Lord Vader. Why? It's very simple. The frustration
see
and
them-
ire, the rage as they are forced to wait days for their paperwork is satisfying to feel.
They tap into the dark side when they think about the DMV.
I have unfortunately found that your application as a member of the Bounty Hunter Guild has been rejected. You must file the paperwork and spend the fee again. It does feel like something he would do. Just spend a day in like the DMV just to fuck people over, just so he can feel their anger against him.
This might be new Star Wars lore, but I always like the feeling too. It's like, because he's a dark side man. Palpatine keeps fucked in the galaxy in a fucked state because it's basically the struggle is what fuels the dark side. I like that
one
idea
take
a lot.
on it. That is one of the takes that when people wrote him, that's one of the takes they had. There's also the weird decision to make him actively preparing the galaxy for the Yuuzhan Vong, which is one of the takes of all time.
I like it from Prime saying, what if Palpatine added all this red tape to feed the dark side? I'm going to be honest, here's the thing. I'm pretty sure all of this existed before the Empire.
It did. I mean, it wasn't as elaborate as the Empire. Like, the Empire
was
much more...
I think it still was. I
wouldn't be surprised.
It wasn't as elaborate and malicious, I would imagine. I would imagine...
Now,
still a fucking
to avoid
nightmare.
all of this, doing all this paperwork, you can instead hire an expediter. They just charge a flat fee of 3 to 5% of any bounties arranged through their office.
That's actually interesting because the expediters wouldn't really get that much because... Oh, is it also because the bounty hunters still have to pay for it? That might be why. That might be why.
No, they go through, they find everything. Most likely they have inside access.
Is it bad? I'm just kind of envisioning a bounty hunter
if you think about
if you ChatGPT to file everything for them as their expediter.
Yeah, but you don't have access to those computers. Those are ancient.
Also, you are correct, Private Penguin. The Republic before Palpatine was pretty incompetent, even before the prequels kind of established that it was a corporate hellscape. It's talked about when we go through the Rebels book. It genuinely was a corrupt shithole. Palpatine just kind of finalized the push into forming an empire.
Wait a minute. Maybe that's the name of one of the droids. I am a service droid GPT, informational droid GPT.
No, expediters are closer to like YouTube partners or whatever, Angel Arroyo. They're the guys that basically kind of manage stuff for you. It's like the equivalent of machinima.
I also like here that you can normally get credits, but you get deferred payments, land grants, mining interest, water rights, stock, art objects, fee transportation. So if you don't have a personal starship, you get your de minimis comp.
Which is one of the funniest. I'm just envisioning, just because we keep referencing the Ewoks. The Ewoks' only request is to get free transportation because they don't understand any fucking concept of value because they're a Stone Age savage, so they don't really know what a credit is.
No, they
except for shiny.
Yeah, they.
They know gold equal God, but like credits aren't really gold. They're more digital.
Yeah. Now that we've gotten through the bureaucracy, though, we can get into the hunt.
I'm just envisioning just like fucking Gungan demanding their weight in fish. I don't know. It
And
feels like something Jar
all
Jar would pay for.
and always remember when you're on the hunt, the SEPI principle. Selection. You have a variety of targets to choose.
Oh, it's like ABC. Always be closing.
Yep. So you want to find the target that you're able to best get. They may be attained from the data core. Guild hunters are usually assigned their targets by the guild, but often use those sources as references in acquiring up-to-the-minute information about the acquisition's whereabouts and activities. Because, yeah, if you know that a guy's in a sector, there's a lot of space in a sector, but if he's been found on one planet, then you know where to go. Otherwise, you're hopping to different planets.
Essentially, it's a combination of factors. A, is it worth going there? Like, let's say you're a mid-time bounty. You're somewhat successful. You've done a couple of bounties. You're a hunter. You're an official hunter because you don't actually get the title of hunter until you get one bounty. So you've done a couple, but you're still kind of on the margins. You're probably not gonna want to go get the ones that it pays off like 200,000 credits, which is a lot, but it's on the other side of the galaxy and all the fucking permits, and you're struggling to afford your expediter, man. So probably not him. There's this one bounty guy this guy's looking promising, 50,000, but it hasn't been collected in 2 years. Why is that? Probably because the guy is not worth picking a fight with. They give an example
You're
of
seeing
Lando.
you're seeing the brilliance of this design to how they wrote this, where it's like you're seeing the ideas, you're seeing how you can run the adventure. Genius, really.
They use Lando as the example. Lando has a bounty of 100,000 after what the fuck he did in Cloud City, because his bounty became reactivated because he was a criminal before then. It hasn't been collected for 5 years. Probably not a good target because this guy is good enough to evade a lot of people.
Just imagine
Also,
guys, I'm gonna go get Mon Mothma, tries to travel to the rebels and gets shot.
Yeah, I mean, that's a poor selection. For a guy who's only done, like, I don't know, 3 bounties, you're probably picking the guy that's 15,000. That's a pretty good haul. Pretty damn good haul. And the bounty's only been out for like 3 weeks. And the best part is, he's not in the system, but he's in the system next over. You still have your sector permit. That's not expiring until next week. And you can get your expediter to just refresh it for a month. It only costs 1,000, so you still have more to go.
The next, evaluation.
Yeah, you don't go in half. You don't pull an Anakin. You don't do what Anakin does and just fucking leap forward without thinking.
Background check. What's their habits? What's their activity? Where are they? An evaluation can begin with the actual bounty itself. Credits equate to danger. The Empire is not going to place a huge bounty on an individual that would be easily brought in.
The more you know, the less likely you are to fuck up.
Preparation. Once the hunter decides the acquisition is worth the time and effort, the next step in the hunt is preparation. So it involves more than simple gathering supplies. It involves careful consideration of a specific plan of attack.
For example, let's say you're dealing with a guy who you know has a habit of going to one of the expansion franchises of Dexter's Jetster's Diner. Like, he likes to go to the diner that's styled like Dexter's and this
hey,
mid-rim planet.
buddy.
You're gonna ambush him at Space Denny's because you know he always gets the alien equivalent of the moons over Miami at this
You're
time
going to
of the
also
week.
make sure that you get him, don't avoid civilian casualties, make it clear, because he might have friends there. You want to isolate him. Maybe actually go there and say, like, hey, buddy, I scored big at the sabacc tables. Here's a drink on me, and another, and another, and another, and I'm going to bring him home straight to a jail cell.
That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is, hey, this guy is sensitive to certain meals. Let's add a little bit of this enzyme that gets him colon issues so that I can ambush him while he's on the shitter. Or
And that brings up,
alternatively,
yeah.
you get him while he's leaving the building. Like as he's leaving the building and he's in the car or in his hover car, you cut the brake lines equivalent and basically just ambush him there.
And that brings us to then the final part, implementation. Because at the end of the day, when you got the blaster out there, when you know, the target's done. It's making sure the
It's
target can't
either
run away.
you got them but dead to rights, they're running and you're about to get them, or you fucked up and something went wrong.
So, now we know how to do a hunt. How do you run a hunt as a game? Well, you've got, they offer here 4 different options. Single contests. You're a GM and you have one player and you're running the hunt for him.
That could
Then
actually be
you,
one of the few. I've never been a fan of just kind of like one GM and one player scenarios. I don't know. I've just never been a fan of those types of runs, but bounty hunting is probably one of the times that I think it works best with.
you could do that, but you could also then I'd say have a solo, like have like other players come in as NPCs. So it's not just the GM talking.
That would help.
Yeah, they say your other players may be involved in the support role. So you could have a bounty hunter and then his support guys.
Or you could just do competition. You could do essentially what Vader did, and just like, I have brought you here as some of the best in your field to catch me, Han Solo, or whatever.
That I'd say would be good to do on like a virtual
Yeah.
where none of the other players know what they're doing, and you literally, or even like on a forum post where like, okay, yeah, the target's in this set. You have the target. Here's the information. What do you do?
Also, NDR
Us-
NDR 000 poisoning the guy's milkshake with laxatives before arresting him in the bathroom is crazy work. Well, yeah, it's
And
one of the
it's
more effective ways to
yeah.
get someone.
What are you gonna
Face
do?
laxatives.
You're shitting.
Is that-
You're not making a run for it. People will choose dignity over freedom.
Yeah,
Hey, jokes on
Wait. And even if he runs, there will be an easy trail to follow.
correct. You'll just follow the
Part
trail
of
of
my
voodoo.
That's a part of my plan. That's my oil slick, so I can cause him to spin out.
Oh no, the guy I'm bounty hunting is actually a space wombat. If you're curious, one of the weirdest things that wombats do you want to know what their defense measure is, wombats are?
Throwing their children at them.
That's one method, but did you know they also will run backwards with their ass in front to try to crush you with it? They will
The big
literally
fat
try to
fucking
butt
arrow.
pound you because they have thick plates of cartilage around their butt cheeks, and they
Oh.
try to crush your head against walls. I'm not even kidding. This is an actual defense mechanism from the
So,
fucking
so if you
wombats.
want to fight the shitting steel ass cheeked wombat, a team effort.
I'm just envisioning Palpatine doing this as just some demented test. Ah, yes, you're going to have to fight the space wombat while I've given him lactose intolerance.
Lord Vader, you must
I've,
prove yourself worthy of the title of Dark Lord.
No, he's doing it to his
This is-
inquisitors. You're going to play bounty hunters. You gotta capture this thing. It's like a space wombat.
No. This is for the Royal Guard. You must do this. You'll never know if one of them would come at me with their ass cheeks out in the open.
You see, Veda, this is something
You
that
just
the
you
Sith
just see
out.
one of the Royal Guardsmen just like that, trying to fight it and just clobbered to death by ass.
You see, Veda, this is an ancient creature made by Sith alchemy. This horrible fucking thing. I don't know what the fuck the ancient Siths were thinking when they made this.
I'm just envisioning, because you're mentioning Imperial Guard training, I'm envisioning for no reason. Just like you get the Salacious Crumb species, the race of monkey. You shave it.
Pokemon.
I have shaved this creature and covered it in grease. You must now capture it.
Capture the greased Kowokian monkey lizard. Go, my guardsmen, go! They're just trying to grab it.
The slowest one gets shot by his peers.
Was it Kirk Kano slips and falls?
I'm sorry, it's just with Palpatine. This is stuff you could easily see him doing just because he's an asshole.
From Primarch, the Renka approaches twerking aggressively. What do you do?
I fucking sign off, mate, because something's gone wrong. Is this liquor hitting me harder than I thought? Maybe.
Well, this is a great time to bring up then the final game
Mm.
mastering idea, Hunter and Hunted, where one character group are the hunters and the other one are being hunted down.
Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, no, hear me out. Here's how you do this. You alternate sessions, not with them not with different groups, and then you just run what the other guys do to the guys that they're getting hunted by.
Ah.
You
And
could
yeah,
do
they
something
do.
with that.
Yeah, they actually do say, do you make the hunt linear? You know, do you actually establish all the bureaucratic stuff, or do you kind of ignore that and just skip to the actual adventure? Because as much as I, as a Star Wars fan, would actually find it interesting if they did the Imperial DMV, that's not what people want out of Star
I would say
Wars.
you probably should at least have very brief moments of that,
Well,
especially if
what
for
do
like
you
particularly corrupt systems, like because the Empire it varied in quality.
what are you talking about, Imp? The Phantom Menace was all about trade disputes, and that worked out well. In fact, there
The
was a little
thing
boy
is,
named
they
Rich Evans.
actually barely talk about that.
Yeah, they barely. That's only in the beginning. And remember, about 10 minutes in, lightsabers start getting thrown around.
And also, the only other time they
Actually,
mention
less
it,
than 10
it's
minutes.
like a minute and a half, and then Jar Jar screams, "Wisa going home," because George knows that this can be boring if done badly. It's also pretty simple. Like I don't know, I originally didn't really like it that much, mainly just because I think the delivery was too dry. But compared to what we got later, it's fucking Shakespeare, and it actually
Hey,
gives some interesting stuff.
yeah, it it doesn't. It establishes, hey, what's going on in the galaxy instead of why is there no New Republic army? Oh, it's because they voted to get rid of it.
Meh. GM roll for
As
tax evasion. Roll for tax evasion. Unironically, you could do that for hilarity.
I repeat again, this is a perfect fucking excuse for like your players to say fuck this for joining the rebellion so we don't pay our tax. For legitimate story reasons, like I can understand too. While a lot of players are like, I didn't do this shit, just wanted to be an adventurer and stuff, not pay tax and stuff. But have to like deal with like mediocrity. It's like it causes players to like go fucking insane and be like, we're gonna be freemen.
This. Yeah, I mean, hey, that's what the first Gorman massacre was about.
I'm just now
It was a
envisioning.
tax protest.
No, hear me out. I have the hilarious mental image of they successfully capture a target, but because they wanted to skip the step of getting the sector record, the sector permit, they get none of the bounty because they did it illegally.
Yeah.
They did it illegally. They get sent to jail. The sector governor just takes the money himself because he has the permit. Because he's the governor, bitch. He can do that. You just get nothing. You get nothing.
You lose, sir.
I think that would be a great build up for like the first rebel session where it opens with them killing the guy who basically took all of their money.
Yeah.
That actually would be fun.
And they do give us player notes. Contacts. Make sure you have trusted contacts to help you find information. Be subtle. Don't blow up an entire district. Find a bribable official who can look the other way. Find a concerned citizen to lodge complaints with the local guild representative or Imperial intelligence about a fictitious crime supposedly committed by your competitor.
Find a Claudian who has a child that you can then use said child as leverage to force them to shapeshift into other people so that they can kill your targets for you and then kill them.
Ah.
And
That is
have
one of the
them
clever things Django did.
I forgot Sam
And
was
then
his species name.
and have them, contract that out to a droid who will then contract that out to a worm.
Be observant. Be flexible. Don't get greedy. And be clever. Be a name dropper. Mention how you're tight with a certain fella by the name of Fett.
Or how a certain citizen Tark, a good friend if you ever had one, it's due any time now. Oh, that'd be no. What would be really funny is you do that for a bluff, and then as the GM, you're like, speaking of which, let me roll something. You roll something privately in the background, begin laughing. All of a sudden, an accented voice in the clear Mandalorian accent, aka your best drunken Australian accent. I've never fucking seen you in my life, you pisser. And it's drunk as shit Boba Fett.
And he's 500 pounds.
You know what? Fuck it. Fuck it.
Dwarven.
We're gonna make this interesting. He pulls out a flame unit. Right then. If I kill you first, let's see. Who do I kill first? And he's like completely smashed. He's completely smashed. He has like a Zeltron in one of his arms.
But
Next session,
now
you have to escape from shittered Boba Fett and the police.
Now we go with some of our notables. Now, some of these you won't know, because I'm pretty sure they were made up for this. Like Tynosaurus sex, a male Sorostok.
I don't remember what species that is. Oh, there it is.
He's a
He's
dog.
the dog guy.
He's a dog. He's literally Dog the Bounty Hunter.
He has a katana.
I'm the dog.
With
the
a katana?
Big bad dog. He's brought back 83 acquisitions, 75 alive. All of them rebels, because the rebels. This is actually interesting. So the rebels again alien, but on a planet that he was on, his family was on, the rebel commander decreed it was vital to eliminate the Imperial presence, even if it meant massive civilian casualties. And
gotta love the Red Rebels.
Yeah, he had a love for a the daughter of the planetary governor, and got killed. So he's waged war against the rebels. An unironic reason to be against the rebellion.
From
And
Primarch.
then you have
Fett, you can't shoot nobody. You're so drunk. I bet you're seeing double. I have 2 blasters and 1 for. No, he doesn't. He doesn't say I have 2 blasters. He says it's a flame unit. I don't need to fucking aim to torch you.
Then we bring up a guy, Jodo Cast. Now, if you look at him, he looks exactly like Boba Fett. That's because he originally was. So they introduced a bounty hunting adventure before this book came out, and they basically created this guy as a discount Boba Fett so that you're not going
because
up
Lucas.
against
I know
high
why.
level.
Lucas didn't allow them to use Boba Fett for that one. That's why.
Yeah.
If you're curious, they actually to give you an idea on how controlling Lucas could be when you kind of triggered his autism. Did you know it took them an actual hard fight to allow Chewbacca to get crushed by the moon? George actually kind of fought that.
Chewbacca dies saving one of Han's children, fulfilling the life debt, as the Uzun Vong threw a moon at a planet.
Yep.
And he's dying, and he's screaming at the moon.
Yep. Lucas kind of wasn't a fan of it.
And I say this, it mentally fucks Han up for like a good portion of the Uzun Vong books.
He kind of wasn't a fan of them choosing to kill Chewbacca, but what happened was he goes, okay, you can kill these characters, but those are the only ones you can kill. Oh, you're picking Chewbacca? Really? Are you sure you don't want to pick any of the... okay, I'm not a fan of this, but all right, you do you. Essentially, it's because by that point he was a superfluous character. Meanwhile, in the sequel land, aka Disney's fan fiction, he's the only fucking survivor.
And they do actually bring up, he's got a Mandalorian battle armor.
Because they wanted Carrie Fisher to be around forever, but instead she had other plans, namely booze and coke.
No, and coke. But then we have Monix Tark, which, if you look at that armor,
that's the Sun Guard, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it looks familiar to. First thing I was thinking was the old Mandalorian stuff, but yes, he idolized the Sun Guards.
Yeah, if you're curious, the Imperial Guard patterned themselves off of what's called the Sun Guard. That's the only you can tell because of the helmet. That's Sun Guard. This is the Sun Guard uniform.
Uh,
Except for the
and then
skulls. Those are things he added personally to this one.
And I don't, it looks like he's flying. I don't know what the big thing
He's
on his
teabagging
backpack is.
He's teabagging the acquisition he just acquired.
Then we have Zuckus. Good old Zuckus. Our Gand Findsman,
Oh yeah, this guy.
who turned out to be a schizophrenic.
Yeah, he's not.
Not kidding. He turned out he had maybe some force sensitivity or something like that.
Yeah, his brain don't work too good.
Yeah, he ends up in a mental ward. Then we have Yargaton, son of the former hunter Reshgaton.
What page are you guys on? I fucked up.
Page
That's
64.
Fair. Yeah, we're on page 64. 65 in the PDF.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah, Empire State. Yeah, and then that child, Anakin Solo, does get killed because Lucas didn't want two characters named Anakin, which yeah, also mentally fucks the family up. They feel his death in the Force.
Yeah.
How does it feel knowing that when the Solos had a fucking dark side user who was done infinitely better than whatever the fuck Star Wars whatever.
Oh, you're talking about
Yeah.
Darth Cetus?
Cadus.
Yes.
Cadus?
It was dealt with more maturity, and
And
I
respect.
understood what was going on.
He turned to the dark side in the same, mainly because he saw that the New Republic was failing. Like he did it out of a mixture of despair and in a weird fucked up attempt to help.
You'd think you would think, well, let's see. I'm descended from Darth Vader. I believe they encountered Exar Kun. I've seen a lot of Dark Jedi over the years. I met that one crazy bird lady. And there's this weird ass former
I think he was
cyborg servant
indirectly.
of the Empire.
He also indirectly had to deal with Abeloth, I think.
Probably, maybe. It's also like,
And I know
I'm
Anakin did.
yeah, I'm gonna pick up the Darth title. You know, the Darth. I'm gonna be a
so
Darth.
that my sister can forcibly kill me after being trained by a Mandalorian who actually didn't even fight a Jedi and he kind of fucking sucked.
No, he fought Jedi in the. I think it is young adult books.
Yeah, they
What are you
they retconned him to be more badass than he actually was because in the.
What are you talking about, Adam? He fought the Jedi in the Clone Wars.
I mean, Jango did actually kill Jedi. He killed quite a few of them, actually.
He killed the dinosaur man.
Also, remember, Boba Fett did fight against a Jedi and lived.
I mean, he got knocked into
he
a
lived
Sarlacc
because
pit.
well, actually twice. He encountered remember, holiday special.
Well, the big part too, that was also like, I seem to recall too, in like Empire Strikes Back, that was like just blind dumb fucking luck by Solo because he blinded, and didn't he accidentally tap his jetpack? Wasn't it just blind fucking luck?
It's blind luck, but it doesn't matter. He would have still lost anyway.
Well, I mean, he did fly up, immediately showed his blast. Actually, no, he shot the blaster. Then he roped Luke around. Yeah, he could have gotten him.
It's a little generous, I think. Anyway, the next one's
Let's see.
Rodian.
Yep, a female Rodian.
Yep.
Yes, they exist with tits.
Yes, they do.
Oh boy.
Funnily enough, the Star Wars Holiday Hotel had one of these as one of the lounge singers before they got rid of them all.
Really? Okay.
It's actually one of the few things where they tried too, because like the performance was not bad. Like you actually got dinner entertainment at the hotel where they would have actors.
You gotta understand how many nerds be like, wait a minute, I get to pretend to be like a Star Wars cantina babe. Do you understand how many fans would probably want to dress up as a Twi'lek?
Yeah, but the problem was you had to
but how did that work out for them?
You had to spend thousands to get in. Like you couldn't go into the diner unless you were a hotel guest.
Ah.
That's one of the big reasons it failed. Also, Disney, they're just like, I don't know. Every fucking left they take a right on. It's amazing.
Also, NDR, I'm pretty sure the Skywalker kids got probably trained by Kyle Katarn.
Yes, they were.
Or at least some of them. There's a whole lot of Jedi.
At least one of them was, yes.
We've got Sabran, child who knew over 300 distinct languages and is a guild hunter.
Oh, and hey, Bosk, here he is.
With his photo. With his government ID photo.
He looks mildly concerned that he has been photographed. Yeah, I guess I gotta kill this guy next for the scorekeeper.
I like he has 1 force point.
Yeah. He's not really force sensitive. I think that's just to indicate the sort of luck he's able to pull through with.
Then you have a Barabel, Baraduk,
He looks like Shredder's discount cousin.
and Dengar. Good old Dengar.
Didn't he
This
come
is
back as a
before the.
lobotomite?
No, you're thinking. No, he didn't get that weird thing that they had uh in canon where they cut off half the head and you basically become a zombie. It's a worse version, I think, of what Lobot had. No, he was though turned into a cyborg and an assassin for the Empire. Tried to get out of that actually successfully, and I think he married.
And the
He
best
lived
part is
happily
he
ever
kind
after.
of ruined his life for years, specifically because Han Solo beat him once in a race and he couldn't cope with it.
Well, also I believe because that ended in a fiery explosion.
Yeah, if you're curious, that's where he
Also,
got the face scars from.
also don't forget too, he's a weirdo that put toilet paper on his head.
Yeah, there's many reasons that he hates Han Solo. You forced me to wear the toilet paper helmet. I have to destroy
And then
you.
we
I like
have
the
good
I
old
like the betrayal in Robot Chicken.
hey Dengar.
I had
There's
5
no other.
lines in the movie, and one of them was me screaming as I died pathetically.
Ah! And I was originally voiced by a guy from Cheers.
But
Now
then
I'm
they
voiced.
changed my voice to another guy. And now I'm being played by my father, but that's okay because I'm actually a clone. Don't
Which
think
actually
about
makes
it.
sense. It makes sense actually.
Except I gained a horrible amount of weight and I fought basically the equivalent of Fonzie and the gang on really lame pastel bikes, and I was like Dances with Wolves, but shit. Don't think about the sequels. I was much cooler in the expanded universe.
Actually, Fonzie in Star he bangs on the can't he bangs on the jizz music to make it work.
I mean, if you wanted
Oh no,
do
wait, no,
like a greaser
it,
culture, that could actually
yeah.
work pretty well.
No, it's like the one
If
where
you
they
wanted to
entered a
do
racist
American
where
Graffiti
he
in
entered a
Star Wars, it
racist
could work.
he entered a racist diner and he knocks down the sign organics only.
Well, also just straight up American Graffiti in Star Wars could definitely work.
Also, I do like here with both of while he does have the Mandalore warrior outfit, there's no proof, however, that Thet was ever a member of this organization.
Yeah,
It
here's
may
the
be he
thing.
retains
That's
these
a
trappings in
yeah.
memorial to some unknown friend or foe, or perhaps of a reminder of an era gone by.
Yeah, this is essentially the whole him being a Mandalorian thing.
That's a
You
retcon.
see, Adam, planned from the start, don't you see?
Let's see, we've got Galicet, a what's the species? An independent Carestian hunter.
And these are just
Tyr
all
Jitten,
characters you can use.
yep. Veronian, brother and sister, Alec and Vika Cern.
Because sometimes bounty
Regulus
hunters work
Tal,
in duos.
yep.
Hey, look,
Tantor,
what's their fucking thing from? Oh, it's an Overwatch character, Widowmaker.
hmm.
There we go.
Well, no, the next guy's Regis Tal, Lawrence of Arabia.
Is this before or after he died of heroin?
Yeah. Then we have Tantor, an Estonian hunter who is very simple-minded. What do I mean by that? You see that pipe he has? That's what he'll beat you with.
Yeah, he doesn't really need a weapon. It also doesn't help that, let's see, his main speciality, his knowledge is not very good. His main
But
focus is just on intimidate.
he just beats you to death.
He just beats you to death, and he knows to ask questions.
Yeah, several lifeless bodies in his wake. I come, I see, I smash.
This is the
He can,
type of guy that you hire if you just don't give a shit about collateral damage.
but I want you to understand this. He has a license.
This man
Even
actually
he
is.
knows how to do his paperwork.
There's no excuse to not do your Imperial mandated paperwork to be an official bounty hunter.
Then we have
This fucker can do it. What's your excuse, citizen?
Zardra, who has worked with JodoCast before, but the first life as Solitary Predator. And then there we go, IG-88.
Yeah, this crazy fucker.
There he is.
Oh, and they even reference only two of the five droids have positively been identified. Whatever their twisted convolution of their metal brains that has caused them to value Imperial credits over sapient life, the fact has become that they're extremely successful in their new occupations. And then there's another droid, Armax.
There's actually a couple of them.
Yep.
Armax is one of them. There's not much known.
GS-8043, who took the last command of "Get them for me" from his former bounty hunter master, that he just ended up doing the hunting. And then Forlom, who was a protocol droid, but then for some unknown reason started keeping track of the belongings on the passenger liner he was on, and started stealing them, and then selling information at the right price, and eventually just becoming a bounty hunter.
In fairness, he's from a different lineage of protocol droids.
Pirate Penguin, we don't want to live in the HK ruled galaxy or the IG-88. He would have killed all humans, or all organics. And remember, IG-88 was going to hijack into the Death Star.
Do you really want a guy like
him?
Actually,
no. He was. No. Actually, no. He was. He was in control. And there was one scene, and I am requesting everybody buy Tales of the Bounty Hunters for literally this one scene where he closes the elevator on Emperor Palpatine and forces him to try to, press the button again to activate it. He fucks with the Emperor.
It's not the only scene that's worth it in that series, though. It is one of the funnier moments.
Oh, there's a whole bunch. But the imagery, the pettiness.
Wait a minute. You're not talking about the same Tales of the Bounty Hunters book for IG Fine. And, oh my god, I do have it.
What?
I got it.
Yes, Kevin J. Anderson.
Kevin J. Anderson. To also go along with it too. I got Tales from Mos Eisley.
I have Mos Eisley, and I have. By the way, for anyone wanting to get Star Wars books, half-price books. That's where you go. So I got Tales from the Mos Eisley Cantina and Tales of the Jabba's Palace.
HK could end the Force. Yeah, but Kreia is also an idiot. Like, here's the thing. Chris Avalon did some great writing, but the entire point is Kreia is also full of shit.
Kreia got really angry at me that I gave him...
Yeah. Well, no, Kreia is literally coping at the fact that her apprentice turned evil.
Yeah.
That's
and she had to give up her... And she gave up her daughter, too.
Also, straight up, she respects you more if you tell her that she's full of shit, and here's why.
I do like the idea too that fuck yeah, I appreciate too when she gets angry at me for giving a bum $5. Says, hey, that bum's gonna get fucking shot and stabbed now.
Yeah. Then we also have here Grefnak, a Gamorrean.
Yeah. Sometimes they actually go out of being enforcers to do other things.
Who did that by being sold into slavery by his clan. And he earned his freedom when he saved the life of the Ring's second in command during an ambush.
And he's also pretty similar to the previous guy that was mostly a brute. He's a little smarter, but like he's still just a Gamorrean who's just able to kind of do other things.
Malice, lone survivor of the Imperial Army, when his platoon was ambushed by Alliance partisans. He then decided to be an Imperial hunter.
Oh, wow.
He believed the Empire was ineffective in dealing with it, so he deserted, changed his name.
Well, the thing I find funny is Karnar, who is an Aqualish of all things.
Oh, Ponda Baba's people.
Yeah.
And she enjoys using primitive projectile weapons.
Yep.
A submachine gun.
She collects
a match pair of palm-sized slug throwers. She's a mafia assassin.
Well, yeah, because here's the thing. She prized the bullets, the slug thrower bullets, out of their target's corpse, and then engraves them to send to her family as a trophy and reminder of victory.
Not to her, the victim's family.
The victim's family.
Oh, God.
Wow, that's even worse.
Oh, Is it interesting? She has no dark side points.
Yeah.
She's just evil for the love of the game, baby. She don't care
Then
about
we have
that morality
We
bullshit.
also have a
Indrin.
more evil version of the Rhodian bounty hunter we saw earlier. And this one's full Rhodian predator hunter thing. Because here's the thing: the Rhodians, the reason they go into criminality and violence so often is their main religious aspect and culture is legitimately like blood hunts and fucking Aztec flower wars and shit. And she's very much into the hunt.
Then we have
No dark
more.
side points.
Nope. A Defil.
Don't remember what the Devils are.
They're the Wolfman, I think. They're the Wolfman creature.
Okay.
Illust Mandrip. And Arcona, which is the one of the bug-eyed people from the Cantina.
Also
I just
completely
realized
addicted to salt.
this is just Mike Stoklas's nightmare. Is it just all these fucking Star Wars names?
Yeah, fuck you, Mike Stoklasa. This is fun. This is
Also, he
character.
has nothing to complain about. Given
No.
he'll do this with Star Trek, so he can go eat
He-
shit and die.
And I'm sorry. He's already said apologies to Rogue One in the prequels.
Throw. Yeah.
Sup?
Now I can
Mike?
agree with them. Yeah, in terms of storytelling, it's not good. In terms of world building, oh boy,
Suffer
is it
Mike
great.
still classa.
Garmin
Oh yeah, you are right.
Avren.
The Devils are the wolf guys. They are the werewolf costume they had in the original film.
There are a lot of wolf species.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the one on Mos Eisley Cantina. Arlil Schkons.
Yeah, what happened was all those characters were given a fuckload of background story and everything.
Well, I mean, I think it's in. Holy shit! No, he was given.
Every single
Oh,
person in that cantina was given a bullshit amount of backstory. Yes,
first
backstory
named
and future stuff.
in the official tournament sealed deck for the Star Wars customizable card game in 1998. Also, apparently his eyes glowed red in the dark, was replaced by Melas due to Lucas's wish.
Basically, Lucas was not happy with the original costume, so that's why he changed up the aliens quite a bit. Speaking of hilarious bounty hunters, this one's a really fun one. This dude was the warden of an imperial prison. He was basically the guy who ran the prison in Andor in the first season, I believe.
First season.
So this is what happens after they do the jailbreak. They break out all of the prisoners, and this dude in disgrace kind of has a mental psychosis episode and goes, "I'm not going to ever come back until I capture all of my prisoners again."
And he has been modestly successful.
I missed them.
I don't know. There's just something fantastic about like it's almost like a Dead Rising psychopath.
When does
Well-
obsession? When does like comically like stupid obsession become quirky and fun rather than annoying?
That kind of hits it, I think, where it's like, no, I
Um,
must collect all of my prisoners.
Crocker from Fairly Odd Parents.
Crocker's pretty fun too.
Fairies.
Well, no, it's actually more fucked up when you remember that the only reason he's that crazy is because he kind of half remembers when he had fairy godparents. That's the reason he's like that. Basically, he kind of remembers because they were the last elements of like before his life turned to shit. Like they accidentally kind of turned it into a bit of a tragedy there.
Yeah, isn't that when he got the hunchback and the weird place?
Yeah,
with the ears?
everything fell the fuck apart.
Then we have, what was it, Gradress Null, one of the most successfully arrogant hunters, a third-generation House Salacorti hunter.
I was about to say third generation house slave.
I mean, kind of is.
And then we have another, Genel Dakara, sold to Zygerian slavers.
Yeah, Zygerians
brought-
are older than when Filoni used them.
Yes, and they're right, they are slavers.
Yes, they were. Filoni did more with them, but no, they were a thing before.
Also, this one is a teenager.
Also a poisoner specialist.
You know what that means.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck the Zygerians. Anakin was right. Kill them all.
No, straight up, yeah.
What's
Then we
Urians
have
look like again?
They're the Tiger guys. You remember the Tiger guys that enslaved
Perp.
Anakin and forced him to work with Dooku for a while?
Oh
You know the
yeah.
cat people? You know when Anakin tried to fuck that cat because Dave Filoni's a
Yeah.
weirdo? Like they
Well, I'm a
tried to
sex
do some
pervert too.
weird fucking they did some weird fucking relationship for a bit.
Seeing Anakin be a male gigolo was quite enticing. Actually, I would like to say thank you, Dave Filoni, for that scene.
The best part is that is completely not Anakin as a character. Like the best part is on the one hand, by correcting Anakin to be more like Bruce Willis, it kind of makes the character more easily likable. But because they did that, it absolutely fucks with his characterization in the prequels. And on top of that, it makes them desperately using Hayden Christensen to play him in live action really fucking jarring.
Hmm.
Because that is not how his personality was at all.
Because he's like a 6-year-old man now.
Well, no, it's because in the prequels, Anakin's a much more tempestuous, kind of odd guy. Like, he's a lot more moody and more easily irked. And also much more prone to doing dark side bullshit. He doesn't really wisecrack. He's not really a wisecracker. Funnily enough, that's more like an Obi-Wan thing.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Wexlin,
Wexlin Tarn.
who I believe is an actual character that gets used in the EU.
Let me look it up.
I think this is a character that gets used in a couple of books.
No, he's only referenced in this.
Okay, I might be I'm confusing him with a different character then.
There's a lot of heavy consonant characters. Let's see. You've got a planetary bureaucrat, Dalmedian Kretch. If you're aware that this administrator is a proficient bounty hunter, living a disturbingly and almost comic double life, using his position within the imperial bureaucracy, he goes on long business trips to conduct his hunts.
I think it would be actually really funny if instead of him being like a traditional bounty hunter with the blaster, he actually just has a bunch of permits that he just gets them on. Like he doesn't even directly bounty hunter. What he does is he gets like local police forces to do his dirty work for him.
Let's see. Yep, then we got Aglar Oren, a former TIE fighter pilot who decided to, if he's going to risk his life for a living, he might as well get better paid for it. Uh, and I guess instead of being a hotshot pilot in a ship with no shielding and no hyperdrive, bounty hunting was much more of his style.
Then there's Teslar, the human hunter who drifted into the profession by accident.
He was in poverty, dropped out of school, started stealing speeders, hired by a small-time spacer, um, and
One thing
who
led to
had a lot
another,
of
and
violence.
now he's just randomly murdering people for money.
Yep. He is an open disgust for independent and guild hunters, and is known to interfere with their hunts. And then we have Chen Lebec. He's also in the Tales of the Bounty Hunters book, I believe in the one with Bosk.
Oh yeah. This is Wookie Moses. Now
Yep.
think
One day
about what
he's
yeah, he
yep.
killed an Imperial officer who was beating a defenseless child.
However, unlike Moses, he didn't come back with a false identity.
No, he decided to just become a criminal.
Who accepts dead or alive assignments for rebels and escaped slaves. He allows them to escape to freedom.
That's actually kind
But
of like an interesting scheme where he pretends to kill them. I actually kind of like that. I actually like that. That's clever.
yeah. Ravalian Dast, he only accepts legal contracts, or she only accepts it.
I'm
So
gonna
she
have
only
to
works with the
disagree with you,
rebels.
Private Penguin. When people say that the Clone Wars is good, I genuinely, you are memory holing about half of it when you say that. Do you remember the Mortis arc, which proved that Anakin can bring people back from the dead? Because he did remember that. He should. Everyone else remembered the time he brought Snips back from the fucking dead. So why is he panicking about Padme? He was able to pull it off with fucking Ahsoka. Also, working with the cosmological aspects of the Force, kind of fucky. But, most people tend to memory hole that one. They also memory hole the episode where Grievous loses the Jar Jar Binks, or the time where him and Mace Windu team up to fight an actual witch, because the witches actually use magic. They don't use the Force. Because Dave's wife is a Wiccan, and he is a retard who has to use that aspect. I'm going to be honest. Also, don't forget Count Dooku being a mentally retarded Saturday morning cartoon villain who genuinely is the biggest insult humanly possible for that character. Oh, and also, you know Ahsoka's friend and how they're like a big thing, and then she blows up the Jedi Temple. Yeah, you don't see her for like 2 fucking seasons. So she kind of just comes back out of the blue because Dave wanted to write a story. You know that really cool Darth Maul criminal arc? Yeah, let's interrupt that with 2 episodes of droids doing stupid shit in the desert. Also, let's have the Black Sun Consortium literally fall to them and, like, off screen. No,
Wait,
seriously.
he got rid of the Black Suns?
Literally, he unifies the entire criminal element of the fucking galaxy in, like, 1 episode. Because Dave cannot write or pace worth a fucking shit. And he cannot write characterization for more than 1 guy at a time.
Well, I gotta say, at least, thankfully, he didn't get.
Do you want to know why he's able to shit out all
these?
these bad ideas? It's because he's just taking, like, fucking garbage that he had on the floor that George Lucas gave him. Like, because if you're curious, he just keeps pulling, like, half-rejected scripts from the Clone Wars, and that's what he's pushing.
Is this Dave Filoni in the room with you right now, sir?
Oh no! If he was in the room with me, he would have instantly canned the stream right now.
Remember, Kathleen Kennedy is now retired, dying slowly away with wine boxes after she decided to not plan anything in the $4 billion project she invested. So
it's not just her.
Hate
keep in mind that everyone else. No, keep in mind that everyone could have fucking talked to one another. It's not just Kathy. Everyone could have chosen to talk to their fucking peers working on other projects, or they're part of the same show. They don't even talk to each other in between episodes. They refuse to do that. It's not just Kathy, it's everyone else.
Which just tells us how incompetently run Disney is and why it should be sold off to the Saudi Arabians.
Oh, by the way, another fun fact about Dave, he's feedbackophobic because there were times back in the day where he would give interviews. Every time he was pressed, he'd just run away. So what he would probably do is either can this stream if he was in the room with me, or alternatively, he would be running away because I'm talking bad about his product. Because
I just
not
want to know
as a writer since Avatar season 1.
Yeah, I just want to know, why does he want to have sex with Ahsoka? Not if. Why does he want to?
Well, because I want to as well.
Here's my question: when they released the Ahsoka action figure for live action, why did they pattern her off of the 13-year-old character and dressed her in the tube top? And okay,
that's gonna be what you're gonna have to ask Hasbro that question.
Yeah, that's one of the decisions of all time. It also looks It just looks terrible.
But next up, though, in our
actually, yeah, if you think about it, isn't it weird that she's 12 and dressed like a hooker? She's dressed even more scantily clad than the Twi'leks. Who, by the way, do you want to know why the women dress like that? It's literally a cultural aspect to them, because again, they want to be desired because it gets them off the fucking planet. It gets them off the planet, and it basically gives them, like, a lot of fucking resources. Because remember, Ryloth does not have a lot of fucking mineral resources. It's a desert shithole.
It's got spice and slaves.
Yeah.
But our next section here, equipment. And also...
You're probably right, NDR. The Republic probably had no age of consent laws. That's actually one of the reasons the rebels are revolting. Palpatine actually mandated a minimum age of 13.
We want our lollies. Or the lines...
I'm just envisioning... Okay, hear me out. You know the Andor speech?
They're just drawings. They're just drawings.
You know the Von Mothma speech in Andor? Just include a line about her trying to talk about age of consent laws.
No, it was unprovoked genocide. And not only that, the destruction of our great pornographic art. And the man behind getting The man behind our sex-phobic society is Emperor Palpatine.
Do you see what my enemies are, Lord Vader?
We are Sith. We rule through fear, but we don't fuck children. Hey, what the fuck?
But didn't you? No, I groomed you
In
as
all
my
the in all the 9 hells of Corellia, what the fuck?
Meanwhile, you have Saint Pest H going, didn't you groom Anakin? No, I groomed him as my
I-
heir and
No, 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 no.
apprentice. That's
No,
very
no, no,
different.
no.
That is
Remember,
different.
we didn't groom him. Remember, Plagueis and I double-teamed the Force, and that produced the Chosen One.
Well, no, I mean, like,
He's my
remember,
rape baby.
no, remember, he did groom him as an heir, because he became, like, Darth Vader. No, I groomed him as my heir. That's a very different thing from what they want.
What, you're gonna tell me that Darth Maul was the same thing? I picked him up as a child.
I saved him from slavery, for fuck's sake. By
And now everyone's
enslaving
wanting
him.
to say that he's
I
somehow
was
a
a
fucking
much kinder master than his previous ones.
And now everyone's saying he's a fucking Dathomiri. He doesn't even look like a Dathomiri, and
He's
they're
a
human.
Zabrak. I made a point. They don't see what they mean. I am not actually bigoted towards aliens. I know the differences. They don't. They pretend they care when they don't.
They'll eat calamari next to a Mon Calamari. How uncivilized.
At least show respect in your racist.
I'm giving them jobs. Yes, they don't get paid and they're enslaved, but I'm giving them jobs.
I could have genocided the Wookiees, but instead I've given them opportunities of employment. And have you seen my policies with the Trandoshans? I am not humanocentric.
I just believe in high human culture.
Which, if you would be understanding, the Galactic Republic has been a fount of culture for millennia.
They say it's our human and alien civilization. But truly, did the aliens ever help us?
And remember that 13 age of consent law applies to all races, including those who only live to be 8. No, they get special dispensation like Yadi Mundi. If you only live to be 8, you're allowed to propagate at 7 and die like octopi.
So, getting away from Star Wars and Age of Consent laws, which I'm surprised
getting out of your average early skeptic / sector arguments that you would hear 11 years ago.
Some of these new weapons, the Oral Biological Chemical Scrambler, the ABC Scrambler, it's an EMP probe, but it detects ultrasonics, biological irritants, and chemical agents. Oh no, it doesn't detect, it emits them.
Yeah, and you can use this to fry any form of remote explosives.
Yeah, say electrodets, neural inhibitors.
It also allows you to just emit nerve gas.
Micro grenade launcher.
Yeah, micro grenade launchers are very fun.
Pulse rifle, energy rifles, a stun cloak.
I actually love this machine blaster pistol with the big fuck off silencer.
Which one is that? That's the pulse rifle.
Yeah, that's a silencer. They gave him a silencer.
No, that's not a. It helps to. It's a rapid pulse discharge that produces microbursts of ion energy.
I like how. No, actually, that's weird. I think they got it wrong. I think 2 should be the pulse rifle and 1 should be the micro grenade launcher. Oh, I see. The grenade launcher's in the bottom.
Yeah.
Is it a slug thrower? Because I'm noticing that they have magazines.
No, I think that's where you get the grenades in.
It could be no, actually. Oh wait, that could be the Tabana gas dispenser. Because remember, blasters use Tabana gas as like the gaseous foci for the laser.
You dorks know these phrases.
Yes.
Yeah, even I do a little bit.
The only deep Star Wars thing I know is Pizzazz.
It's what the fuck are they doing in Cloud City? They're mining Tabana gas for guns.
The poison fart gun, silent but deadly. You don't talk about farting in Star Wars because remember they wrote about the fart wedding. What
about how C-3PO got his red arm? Can you tell me the mystery of that?
The what?
Oh, the red arm. That's literally so that J.J. Abrams could get the money from the toy.
I mean, yeah, honestly, it probably is an explanation for it, but at the end of the day, he's a robot. He was silver once. He didn't have armor once. He was a battle droid once.
I'm just now envisioning C-3PO waking up without his armor again, like in Episode 1, and him just screaming because it's like his exposed circuitry is like he got skinned
Oh, by
alive.
the Maker, I'm naked. But let's see some of these other stuff. You've got a doubler suit, which literally just creates a hologram. It's the hologram weapon from what was that John Carpenter movie?
Total Recall? Total Recall
Yep.
does that.
Yeah.
I don't think he did. I don't think it was John Carpenter who did Total Recall, but I know Arnie had something like that. Also, keep in mind that the doubler suit alone kind of makes. Remember the weird episode in the Clone Wars where Obi-Wan had to fake his death?
Verhoeven. It was Verhoeven.
Yeah, remember when Obi-Wan had to fake his death so he could have super plastic surgery to look like a different guy?
Yeah.
Why do that when you have a doubler suit?
Well, because this only lasts for an hour.
Just get a bunch of doubler suits. You're only meeting a guy once, right?
It costs 30,000 credits. Also,
and the
no.
super ultra giga plastic surgery isn't more expensive? I don't know. I feel like it's just I feel like they wanted to do a thing because this is the thing. Dave wants to do a thing and he doesn't really think about or care
Also,
about how he gets there.
In the Vong War, 3PO does have moments of waking up screaming because he has a crisis of mortality. Because the Vong believe he's an aberration to their gods.
Well, mainly because their galaxy got fucking consumed by the Grey Goose scenario.
No, it was because whatever they did fucked up their galaxy. Which remember had the Abominor.
Yeah.
Let's see some other devices: a force cage, basically a portable cage, magna cuffs, magna harness, a man trap, a reversed repulsor lift field. Let's see, armor droids, a thrust pack, motion sensor array, flares, and then we get to the guilds.
Well, there's also armorer droids. Armorer droids can also provide information about different weapons as a hunter. You can get these. Thruster packs, which is what you can use to fly around. Motion sensors arrays. Here we go, the guilds, as you mentioned.
So, what are the advantages? You get more equipment and basic supplies. You get access to information on current bounties. Mediation.
Yep.
Mediation. Disputes between hunters. Reciprocity. Meaning a member of one syndicate in a hunt may apply and expect to receive assistance from another.
You also get a reduced cost on repairing your vessels or weaponry.
And of course, reputation. Sanctuary. Retirement.
Yep, you can actually retire if you're part of the guild.
Training. The downside is obviously that
this is a 2-page spread because the story is kind of a 2-page spread if you're curious.
Yeah.
There are downsides though, and what were they?
So you've got contractual gaps. The near universal application of guild administration points are gaps. To have a gap is to have a monetary amount, just a fixed percentage against a bounty's face value deducted from one's contract and paid directly to the guild before any funds are passed. Most do this 3 to 10%.
Essentially, if you're targeting a dude and they're worth, let's say, 30,000, the guild, if they're polite, they'll only ask for 3% of 30,000. Let's just say like they go maximum, you have to pay 3,000. Otherwise, you might only have to pay like a little over 1,200.
Then you obviously have your dues, which could be from 100 to 500, sometimes several thousand.
Which isn't that bad, given that's still cheaper than what the Empire asks for.
Guild contracts, they choose.
Yeah, here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's a guild. You're working in a union essentially. you kind of have to do what the Union asks, and on top of that, you can't really gun after certain targets because they're already assigned to other people, because the entire point is to keep them all employed.
Yeah. But hey, you still get your guilds.
And also no
In which
poaching. So let's say hypothetically you became a bounty hunter because Lando fucked your wife and you saw him finish off and run off. You want to kill Lando, right? Because
yeah,
you're not a cuckold. You're not like Rakeda. You want him dead. So you join a bounty
or
hunter
green
guild.
black.
Probably. The problem is no poaching. Someone's already claimed him and has been going after him for years at this point. So you have to sit there in impotent cuck rage because Lando already got with your girl. And there's nothing you can fucking do about it if you're part of the guild.
NDR. Can you imagine getting a bounty hunter strike? Well, you see, that just means they'll put out a target on those bounty hunters.
Also, straight up, the guild does give a lot of benefits because, again, you don't have to pay that much for your ship getting repaired. They basically defray most of the costs, and on top of that, if you're just starting out, well, they really help in getting you your supplies, and they actually
Yeah.
will at least give you information on how to do stuff. And the limitations on who you target, it's usually because they don't want you to drop dead instantly. It's a bad look for a relatively new guy to just die. Like, it's a
But
dangerous
so,
gig, so having their new having the new scabs go the way of the dodo is not a good look.
yeah. But now we have some of the guilds.
It also makes them
First,
look bad reputation
first
wise.
up is House Benelux, and to give you the size, it has 1,279 hunters. With that, 7,600 administrative and support staff. They specialize in kidnapping retrievals, lacdocs, so imprisonment. Membership is required by sponsorship, an initiation fee of 2,000 and 5 captures before admission. Gap of 3%, dues annual 700 credits. Currently operating in the Outer Rim territories, Outer Expansion region sectors, and the corporate sector.
There's also another benefit for joining these houses and guilds is they basically cover a good chunk of the headache of filing with the Empire, which is nice.
You've got Nuvalis, no bounties under 20,000. With this one has a 10% gap though.
They're
And one
nasty,
of the youngest.
but their dues are cheaper.
Paramexor, Galactic Core. Only accepts contracts involving murderers.
Basically, it's an assassin's guild without being an assassin's guild.
Then we have House Relis, 244 active huntresses. And the
You
reason
have
why
to
they
be a
use
woman.
that, yep, only women. Which is an interesting quirk.
It's because their founders are two sisters. They don't really go into details about their backgrounds. It suggested that they might be a bunch of stoolies for Imperial intelligence.
Oh, this is where Palpatine gets his hands.
Yeah.
Probably. Then we have House
What they don't talk
Salak.
about is that one of your job duties might be to entertain the Emperor. Yeah, strangle that alien for me harder.
From Angel Star, you encounters would play a great Darth Revan. And do you think that the Pink Twi'lek will become Darth Talon?
They've already
I mean,
hinted heavily that the Pink Twi'lek is supposed to be Darth Talon.
I guess I wouldn't like that.
I don't know, and I don't really care. I've heard it's mediocre.
And Keanu honestly, the
He could, but
fan-made
not with
coder,
Disney.
the fan-made coder that just came out this month. I like their depiction of Revan.
I think Reeves could play a decent Revan, but the problem is it depends on the writing material. Like, him as the actor could carry it, but it's really up to the writing. And again, Maul Shadow Lord, it just kind of fucking exists. It's like bland batch. It exists. It's mostly inoffensive, and I would argue it's actually just kind of lower quality Rebels.
If they do end
It
up having
also
the
doesn't
characters
help
fall
that
to
they're
the dark
trying
side,
to make the Inquisitors intimidating, but it doesn't matter because they got their shit wrecked by a fucking apprentice Ahsoka. It doesn't matter. You made them too lame. You can't fucking undo that.
But Boba
I
Fett.
got him.
But Boba Fett got defeated by Luke, and he's awesome. People like him. So why don't we just do the same for every other character?
The difference is Luke was actually like a fully trained Jedi by that point. And for all he got defeated by Han, Han is at least an experienced smuggler. Yes, he was a blind man, but you gave the excuse that it was luck. Which, hey, fair enough. Luck is a thing. The Force works in mysterious ways. Repeatedly losing to a Padawan, that's an L. I've also heard that I don't give a shit. Dave can do whatever he wants. It doesn't
Natalie
matter.
Portman returns Padme and will take Padme's form to deceive it. But Anakin's dead already.
It doesn't matter.
Wow, I can see Filoni doing that.
He would. Because he doesn't care. Here's the thing. This is the man who just kind of does shit because he sees what he wants to do, doesn't give a shit about how to get there, forces it to get there, and then gets surprised when people don't care.
I've got the link Thrawn Abeloth.
Hey, remember how he always has Thrawn be like, yes, you've destroyed 3/4 of my army. You've broken all of my limbs. You have fucked my second in command, who is my gay lover, and forced me to watch. And I have lost to farting space whales. This is why I have won. I have strategically won. Smugly chuckles like Sargon of Akkad back in his days when he was a liberalist.
You see, Ahsoka, I knew your master many years ago. I don't know who you are. I've never met you. I've never seen you in person. And in fact, I've been gone into another galaxy for 16 years.
The biggest problem with Ahsoka...
But because I know who your master was, I can beat you.
Gets 80% of his army fucking bodied. Smugly chuckles in victory.
Because I'm Grand Admiral fucking Thrawn. And I'm just awesome.
Loses.
Because I'm a smart person written by somebody who isn't smart.
Also, Anakin in the world. Who gives a shit? He's not even Anakin, really. He's like fucking. He's dead, and on top of that, he's not even Anakin.
If that is actually Anakin
Willis.
from another dimension, why the fuck didn't the revelation that of like him getting taken out into the galaxy? Oh god,
you guys are so fucking pissed off.
This is what Filoni's gonna fucking do.
Well, yeah, because he doesn't care. This is the man who'll try to find... This is a man who invented 2 different ways to bring people back from the dead. Because his retarded wife is a Wiccan, he gave the fucking Night Witches, which, by the way, he absolutely raped and retconned. He gave them the Lazarus Pit from Batman because he is an uncreative mongoloid. And then, on top of that, he has the Wolf Time asshole as another way to bring people back from the dead. And he has even less care than Toriyama, who openly admitted... back in the day when he was writing Dragon Ball, yeah, I made shit up as I went along. He still treated death more seriously despite having a series where the entire thing is there's magical wish-granting orbs that allow you to no-sell death. So that's why I don't care what he writes. He wrote the worst season of Avatar: The Last Airbender. You want to know why it was episodic and they danced around the entire fucking planet before getting to the North Pole? That was his episodes. Then he got tapped by George Lucas because he was accidentally associated with higher talent. He's never been good. I genuinely think he's a fraud. And I've always thought he was a fraud.
And we're stuck with him.
Yeah,
remember
because...
when we were talking about West End?
But you know what? Fuck him. Fuck Disney. And guess what? There's all this setting you can make. You want to make your own lore?
Yeah, fuck that. Let's talk about Salak Tori.
A bounty hunter house that existed from the grandest days of the Republic.
Not High Republic, Old Republic.
Remember when we were talking about West End games?
We actively are right now, man.
We've got other groups. And they got another 2-page spread here. We've got House Tresario. An up-and-coming house made by an ex-naval officer that hunts pirates.
Yep. And their gap is 8%, which is pretty expensive. You have to actually their dues are quite expensive, too.
But they're starting out. And the other thing is, they operate in the core. Which, remember, the core bans.
Okay, that would be why you would want to be a member of this.
You've got the Mantis Syndicate. Private Bounty Contract Association, with wow. Actually, they list their assets: 7 billion credits, 47 billion in capital goods.
That's pretty impressive, but this is essentially it's a private army.
You've got the Ragnar Syndicate, paramilitary special operations.
Oh, and the reason why their benefits are so cheap because it's only 150 credits annual, and the gap is pretty small. It's because you're expected to do quite a bit of skeevy shit if you're working with the Mantis. Ragnar, oh god, look at that original gap that you start with.
20% for new members. Personal selection by the house. I mean, there's 270 active hunters, 4,000 in reserve.
Yeah, holy shit. The reason why though is
Yeah,
it's basically a way that you can bullshit your way through freelancing.
you're Blackwater.
Yeah.
You're literally just Blackwater. Oh, and then the Bounty Hunter College. The Skyne Independent Bounty Hunter College. It is not an academic institution, though. It's just a network of hunters, spies, smugglers, and informants.
They call themselves the Bounty Hunter College because these are the guys you get if they've already slipped previously. Basically, these guys target the quarry that other bounty hunters have actually failed in getting.
And the Zygerian Slaver Syndicate.
Yep, because that's the other thing. You know the tiger people that Anakin wanted to fuck even though he loathed? Yeah, they weren't actually made by Dave. They existed before then. Here they are. Their CEO is the Zygerian clan Prolurg.
And literally, this is you're just a slave catcher.
Yeah.
Which is why there's no dues and no gap, because, yeah, who the fuck wants to... Literally wants to do that. Because they're literally bounties under 5,000. You're just literally capturing random people that ran away from slavery and forcing them to be dragged back into... And I don't even know what kind of slavery is. Is this, it could be chattel, it could be Roman, it could be Malian kind of slavery.
Zygerians, because of the way they work, it's usually chattel. It's for life.
Yeah,
and...
you're basically being a slave catcher from the
Oh,
Confederates.
and on top of that, keep in mind, if I recall correctly, slaves that die are sometimes eaten because Zygerians are carnivorous, and on top of that, they are worked into essentially concentration camps. Yeah, the lifespan of a Zygerian slave is usually like 3 to 5 years once you get into their hands. And depending on the slave master, sometimes they'll just arbitrarily gas a mine shaft, or if you're working in a volcano, they'll just open a magma tube so you burn alive screaming because it just entertains them. Zygerians are assholes.
Can I just say it's so fucking refreshing in an era where, like, if you want to be the bad man, you get screened at by the game creator. It straight up has rules for, like, hey, you can do if you become a fucking slaver, you can't.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be a slave catcher, you totally could.
They outright said at the beginning, you could be a good guy, you could be a bad guy, because there are, like, even the guy who's serving the Empire has a moral reason to do that because his lover died. And
I always do love those stories too, where it's like, good people within the Empire. It's always been
I love the Wookiee bounty hunter. You get the idea where it's like, oh, he's so vicious, he kills all of them horribly, and then it cuts to like a crying child who's like basically targeted as dead and unalive because they saw something they shouldn't because of Imperial intelligence. You just have this big intimidating scarred Wookiee gently pat its head, this small baby's head, and then directs them to a new freedom, and then just lies about killing her. I like that. I don't know, that one was my favorite just because it's such a fun little twist.
We complain, we bitch about Star Wars. This is where Star Wars lives.
Yeah. Passion, intelligence. They actually thought through this stuff. There's structure. Here's the thing. Dave, he sees what he wants in the end, right? He wants this at the end. He doesn't really think about or plan or care about how he gets there. They have to sit and go, okay, so this is how this bounty hunting group works. Like this Zygerian slave guys, they go after slaves. Would there really be a gap? No. If you're working for these guys, you're probably already kind of fucked and on the outs of a bounty hunter. And also, these bounties are worth like nothing. So why would they demand a pay gap? They just want their property back, you know?
I'm going to scroll up here. to see who wrote this. Looks like Bill Smith. Thank you, Bill Smith.
Thank you, Bill Smith, for writing something that's great and actually entertaining and interesting. And genuinely, this is why I genuinely think that while Edge of the Empire, Rebel Alliance, the Force One,
The
Fantasy Flight
Fantasy
games,
Flight one. Yeah.
they're fun. There's a quirk to their mechanics. They're fun, but West End has all of this material that you can just kind of use out of the box. You can use them for Edge of Empires because, again,
And I want you
same
to understand,
universe.
this is Galaxy Guide 10.
We
I
covered a couple
believe,
of them because the Empire and Rebel book that we did were also Galaxy
yeah, there's
Guides.
the source books. There's 13 Galaxy Guides. There's
Books on
all of the
entire
source books,
sectors.
all of the adventures, the different campaigns,
The
conversions
back
people
they
have
also have done
done,
some of the novels. Baccarat actually has its own adventure splat.
supplements, and again, fan-made stuff. You want to set your setting in
Womp
the
Rat
Old
Press.
Republic era? You want to set it in the Legacy era? Legacy of the Force? Go right ahead. Make your own stuff. Make your own species. As I say, Disney's not handling Star Wars right. They butchered it. It's gone dead. Take what you want from it. Take the vehicles, characters, toys, planets, whatever.
If you want Coca-Cola, which
Make
by the way is canonical to Disney
yeah,
Star Wars, you can put Coca-Cola in there. It's actually used as a drink mixer in Corellia, if I remember right.
make your own story set in a galaxy far, far away.
No two galaxies far, far away are exactly the same.
And with that request, we'll leave you with what we're planning to do next week as
Correct.
replacement for the Mecha May. We're going to finish with Jovian Chronicles.
That is true.
Yeah.
We did want to do one more mecha book. It's just we had 2 Star Wars themed days. We skipped the first one just because it's corporate mandated. We couldn't skip this one.
Which actually, funny enough, Jovian, it crosses over with 2 of the groups that we've already worked on. DreamPod 9, the people who did why am I even
Jovian
taking
Chronicles and Heavy Gear.
Heavy Gear, and Mechton. This was originally a setting designed by Mechton.
We've already done Lancer actually, NDR.
Yeah.
I will warn you.
Designed by Pondsmith.
I will warn you. I didn't really fuck with Horus at all, but despite my issues with some of the aspects of the setting, Lancer's fine.
So we'll see what happens when the Canadians take on a Weeb's version of Gundam.
It'll be
May the Force be with you.
fantastic. Yeah, may the Force be with you.
You know, I'm surprised we didn't meet in the middle and just did like a whole thing about the ATST.
Listen, I've got an actual droid that I had from my high school trip to Disneyland. I'm doing it. I fucking love Star Wars. Yeah, I fucking love Star Wars.
How does it feel to watch everything that you've watched and loved as a child fucking burn?
Feels great because I
Feels
get to
good.
rediscover what I actually loved about it.